okaying about?
About
Test.
Test being here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I should probably put up.
Alright, so welcome to the first session of Exalted, finally.
Hooray.
with the
After
new...
9 years in development, I hope it was worth the wait.
Yeah. This has been a long time coming, and this week has been surprisingly busy. More busy than I wanted it to be. So hopefully this session goes well. This will be my first time properly GMing in about 2 years, but I do have quite a lot of experience prior to that. Since this is being recorded, I guess I should mention that this is an edited version of the 2nd edition Exalted rules that I've spent the last year or so rewriting. So if I decide to post this anywhere and you're listening and you know 2nd edition Exalted and you think that we're doing everything wrong, we're not.
You're good scrubs.
So, should we do character introductions right away? I think not.
Yeah, let's do the setting first.
Yes. Alright, so if you're all in Roll20,
Yep.
you see
I am here.
in the center of creation is the Blessed Isle, and in the the east section of the Blessed Isle, there is the Imperial City. Do you all see the Imperial City?
Yes.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
No?
AJ.
What? I can't.
Genuinely?
Well, I found Blessed Isles. There it is.
Alright. So, just north of the Imperial City, there's an outcropping of land separated by a river. And it's kind of hard to see on this map because the Imperial City text and surrounding circle and symbols and shit kind of takes up most of the area. But,
There is a peninsula.
yeah, there is a peninsula, and that peninsula is called the Pangu Prefecture. So, this is
Holy nuggets.
a close-up of the Pangu Prefecture. Now, this is still a fairly early map. It's yet to be properly fleshed out. I intend on adding roads and a lot more towns and stuff. But, this is where the first few sessions will probably be taking place. The Pangu Prefecture is land that is, well, I was going to say owned by House Sinus, but technically all of the Blessed Isle is owned by the Scarlet Throne. But for all intents and purposes, House Sinus owns the Pangu Prefecture. And their main is the House of High Waves, which you probably see in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Big square.
I was kind of saving it, but... So, yes, the House of High Waves is the House Sinus sort of HQ, as it were. It is a level 3 water main, although that doesn't really mean anything to many of you.
I know. I wrote that bit.
I know this!
I understood that reference.
But yes, I know what one is.
Yes, anyway, it's a level 3 main, and it's about, let's see on the ruler, it's about 24 kilometers away from Stillbirch, which is the nearest town. Stillbirch is a very pretty tourist attraction type town. It's pretty much directly north of the Imperial City, so tourists wind up going there quite a lot. The House of High Waves itself is on a hill by some cliffs next to the sea, as you can see. And it is basically there's a steady incline, and on the incline there's lots of orchards and vineyards and all sorts of stuff like that. So let me see. Who is already Sinus? Sinus Belar Faskar, that is Brian. And Sinus Falan Imo, that is AJ. You are both already at the House of High Waves. And Jen and Rob, or Donati and Somon, you are both on your way to the House of High Waves. And the reason is because, as part of a long-hauled plan to bring House Sinus back into the good graces of many of the other houses, and the opinions of Blessed Isle citizens, the house is undergoing a series of weddings. The first is between Nellens Nadus, a mortal Imperial Treasury Minister, who is sort of marrying into House Sinus by paying a rather large dowry. And he's marrying Sinus Falan Fana, a highly skilled and beautiful healer of strong breeding and grace. The first wedding is, well, they're basically hoping to bring some good breeding into House Nellens, which Nellens kind of desperately needs. And in return, Nellens is giving House Sinus substantial, or access to their substantial network of connections. Farah is already well loved by the peasantry, since she's spent many moons wandering the Blessed Isle, helping to cure sicknesses and unravel curses. Her marriage is unlikely to put an end to that spree, and so this will certainly improve Sinus's standing with the citizens of the Blessed Isle, at least within the northeastern regions. Plus, this wedding will also give them tangential sway over Imperial Treasury spending, and House Sinus might slowly be able to pull even more strings through this arrangement than maybe they were originally bargaining for. So this is information that most people have kind of pieced together from news. So most of you are like vaguely aware that this marriage is this first marriage at least is very much a play by House Sinus. But Nellens doesn't seem to care. They value the breeding of Falan's Fana more, apparently. So yeah, this is the first of 3 weddings, and it is being hosted by the Falans at the House of High Waves. And it's supposed to be spreading good word in favor of House Sinus, as well as flaunting some of their obvious wealth. Sinus are hoping that this is the most auspicious of the 3 weddings, as it will certainly be the most exorbitant. The guests attending this wedding have been carefully selected, but they include almost all the guests from the other 2 weddings as well. The second wedding will be much later on, not in this session, probably not in this campaign, between Casus Kajak Somon, Rob's fire aspect character, and Sinus Bellar Yana, an heir aspect from Sinus. Yeah, she has. She's a sorceress, so they're both sorcerers. This bonding will help Sinus gain some martial protection from Sasus and give Sasus more ties to the All-Seeing Eye. And the third wedding is between Sinus Bella Rakujai, a wood-aspected bureaucrat and businessman, effectively, and Nimon Karas Serel, a very young but promising earth-aspected girl still studying at the Cloister of Wisdom. They're hoping that this bond will give Sinus more sway over the Immaculate Order and more direct contact with Nimon Karas, who... Red weddings. What? Anyway, so the first wedding is basically going to take up this whole session, and from there there'll be, or it will branch out hopefully, to let you guys do some other stuff. You're right.
I'm just falling over, it's okay.
Alright.
I'm gonna get Rachel.
See you later.
See you soon.
Alright, so there are a few notable guests attending the wedding, and I'll give you a quick overview, though I don't fully expect you guys to remember all these names just yet. So Sinus Fallon will obviously be there. She's a wood aspect and one of the heads of House Sinus. She's an idealistic businesswoman. Sinus Fallon Emo, AJ's character, a young but promising wood aspected entrepreneur, well on her way to making great contributions to Sinus's drug trade. Sinus Fallon Farah, the bride, a wood-aspected healer who spent the last few years of her life traveling the Blessed Isles, offering free medical aid to those who need it. Sinus Bellar herself, a wood aspect from one of the heads of House Sinus and a pragmatic sorceress. There's Sinus Bellar Rakujai, a sorceress martial artist who notoriously spent a few years as a prostitute. He now owns dozens of houses of pleasure and is a wealthy businessman. There is Sinus Bella Yana, someone's fiancée, a beautiful air-aspected sorceress with a talent for femme fatale. She technically works for the All-Seeing Eye, but her loyalties are to her house. She's not directly opposed to her upcoming marriage with someone, but her work means that it's hard for her to find time, so she keeps delaying it. There's Sinus Bella Fasca, Brian's character, a water-aspected sorcerer and martial artist. There is Sinus Mond, aka Wind Tamer, but he won't be arriving until the second day. There is Sinus Wizel Korea, a beautiful mortal girl with good breeding but no exaltation. She's often the talk of the town, that is Stillbrook, and patricians from all over Pangu prefectures, all over the Pangu prefecture are bidding for her hand in marriage, but she's currently no interested in any of them. There is Nellen's Rikista, an air-aspected silk trader. She has a reputation for making deals that she never forgets and is always looking for new business ventures. There is Nellen's Nadus, the groom, a mortal minister of the Imperial Treasury. He's already in his early 40s and has obviously paid through the nose to pay the dowry to marry into House Sinus. There's Nellen's Donati, Jen's PC, a young military-minded heir aspect, and what she lacks in bureaucratic sensibility, she makes up by attempting to raise a small personnel army for her house. Right now, it's just a small band of followers, though, so every chance she gets to make contacts is a worthy one. There is Nellen's Malachi, another celebrity guest. This fire-aspected sorcerer is renowned for being the hero of a Deathlord attack, and is considered the house's expert on the subject. There's a lot of Sinus and Nellen's mortal dynasts attending, as well as various patricians and bureaucrats from all over the western end of the Blessed Isle. The mayor of Stillbirch is attending. His name is Raphael Grenonic, or Grenondich. It's a weird last name. He's a mortal patrician. His invitation to the wedding is more of a polite obligation on the part of Sinus, but he takes the honor very seriously and uses the opportunity to proposition guests about making deals to improve the economy of his town, or he will be doing that. There is Casus Kajak Somon, Rob's character, who is the only Casus attendee to this wedding, and was only really invited because of his future engagement with Yana. But he's just happy to be away from the garrison for a while. His superiors have given him a surprising amount of leave, a surprising amount of leave, despite the fact that he's only had to travel for a couple of weeks to get here. Still, he's eager to see his fiancée again, and see how Sinus weddings are done, and perhaps even make some new contacts. Finally, there is Silverbrook Song, a well-bred, earth-aspected, immaculate monk, formerly of House Sinus, and he's here to enumerate the wedding ceremony. But he might also be doing some networking. Alright, so those of you who are already at the House of High Waves aren't experiencing this description that I'm about to read in a second, but it's useful for you guys to know this anyway.
Jen and I are the ones who are still traveling.
Yeah.
So this description is for us, basically.
Yeah. So, the session opens with Rob and Jen separately arriving at the House of High Waves. Like I said, this description applies to both of you, even if you're arriving at different times. So, this is a mighty compound of tall spires and equally tall trees. It makes up the biggest hub of all of Sinus's dealings within the realm. It's a level 3 water main on the coastal cliffs of East Pangu, and guests must come up from the main road, about half a day's travel from the nearest town, Stillbirch. Through a series of rich orchards, vineyards, and fields, all being worked in the distance by slaves, with a steady incline, you approach the House of High Waves. Covering the hill is a dense pine wood, and as you approach, you catch glimpses of spires and brickwork behind the trees. The road gets more narrow, only wide enough for a single carriage to be driven up, and it zigs and zags up the hillside and into the woods. As you approach the House of High Waves, the cathedral of pine trees open out to reveal a palace of red brick spires and white-tiled roofs. Behind the red brick and marble walls with a black iron fence, the main gates are open, and the House Sinus guardsmen are checking people's invitations as they enter. I'm assuming that you guys will be arriving via some kind of carriage or horse.
Yeah, probably.
You have no problem getting past the guards, and Inside the walls are beautiful gardens, ponds, and tea houses, and farther up the white gravel road it widens into a fountain centerpiece in the front of 5 squarish buildings with circular towers between them. Behind the frontmost building is the rest of the palace, more spires, and the rest of the gardens, which lead down the other side of the hill and onto the cliffside. And if you guys look on the map, there's like a tiny offshoot of island to the south of the house. There's a bridge across that gap, and there's a bathhouse on that pinnacle.
Cool.
You're then directed into the frontmost building, which is an exquisitely furnished hall. You're then properly signed in by a house servant, given a room key, and offered a drink. Some of the guests are immediately making their way to their rooms to freshen up and so on, while about 24 patrician bureaucrats are congregated in the East Wing conservatory, chatting idly and drinking tea with 1 or 2 notable faces. So I'm going to move you guys to the map of the House of High Waves now. So, of Jen and Rob, which one of you wants to arrive first?
I don't know who would arrive first, but I do know that instead of going to go like immediately mingle, I would like to go to my room and freshen up because I'm probably disgusting.
All right.
I'll arrive second then.
Sure. So Jen, you're with your 5 followers.
My bays.
They have guest passes as well, but they won't be like at the important dinner tables and stuff. So they'll mostly just be sitting on the sidelines for this session. Wait, someone wants to... Is everything that someone wants to be?
Yes.
Well,
right.
technically you're early at the moment. Alright, so you go straight to your room, is that correct?
Yes. I would like to be freshened up.
Alright, I've forgotten, how do you ping on Roll20?
Just click and hold with the mouse pointer selected.
Oh, okay. Wait.
I'm going to change my colour because even though that's my favourite colour, it's really hard to see on this map.
There we go. Alright, so you're in this building here where I'm pinging. And the guest rooms are here and here.
Where it says guest rooms.
Yes. So you can take either side. I don't really care which.
The right side, because you are right.
Ho ho ho! Yes, I will take the right side.
All right. So you head into the tower to the west, the big tower here, and pass through the courtyard. You're being led by a servant, or probably more than one actually, carrying your stuff. This little courtyard on the right here is, I want to say Oriental themed, but that doesn't make sense in this setting. But hopefully you know what I mean in terms of like.
It's all very
IRL
ornamental
description.
gardens.
Yeah, it's like
lots of cherry trees and ornamental shingles.
yeah.
and
There's a cherry blossom and there's those like
Which is always dropping leaves at appropriate moments for female characters to turn around and look at people.
There's like
Winks.
raked sand or whatever the hell it is, and all those balanced stones and a little spring and stuff.
One of those weird teeter-totter water things that nobody actually understands what they're for.
Yeah, it looks very quaint.
Listen, it's the aesthetic,
Yeah.
okay?
It's feng shui.
So yeah, you pass through that and into the guest rooms. This is a three. Wait, is it 3-story? Yeah, probably 3-story building. Filled like pretty much to the brim with rooms.
Designed
So
for this sort of thing.
yeah, it's designed to house a lot of people basically. So you're given a room on the 2nd floor, let's say, and your companions are not too far away. In the room, you find that because you only have your travel clothes with you, I'm assuming.
If I'm going to a wedding, I'm going to pack something nice.
Fair
At
enough.
least one outfit.
Fair enough. So alongside whatever it was that you brought, there's also 2 outfits in the closet already that seem to have been tailored for you, and you're not sure how because like you never gave them your measurements or anything. But
Magic.
one of them has like a label on it which like the label says use for the first night, and then the second one says use for the second day. And there's another letter written by Sinus Fallon herself, and the letter basically says that these 2 dresses are gifts to you, for you to keep.
Ooh, extravagant.
Yeah. So the one for this evening,
Quite a high honor.
the one for this evening is like a kimono style cocktail dress. Oh, hang on.
My only question is
Sound muted. See you soon.
Sibling, this is accept and wear these gifts. Do they come with later expectations? Like will I owe her a favor or something?
As far as I can tell, not really. Or sorry, as far as you can tell, you don't think so. You think they're genuine, just gifts.
So as far as I can tell, but this might not necessarily be the case, right?
Yeah. It's.
Do
You've
you
basically been
want to
given an. Yeah.
Do you want to roll to look into it?
Can I? Can I do that? Where would that be?
Let's have a think. So it would probably be intelligence or perception plus socialize maybe.
Microphone
Sound
muted.
A C in sociology. Yep. An E in psychology. Yeah. And then distinction.
Sound resumed.
Your character is the most paranoid character.
I don't know that because
Listen, okay.
I don't know that it is perception because you're not looking for anything in particular. I think you're just you're trying to work something out. So that's how I visualize it anyway. You're just gonna stay muted for now. Okay.
What the fuck was that noise?
What was what noise?
It's on roll
Ooh.
20.
Oh yeah, it's the chat thing.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The chat window.
Repeat your question, Jen. Repeat it.
Sure. Let's do the first roll of the day.
I'm so proud.
Thank
Do
you.
you know how to do it?
No.
You take your intelligence score and your socialize score and you roll that number of d10s.
So that would be 4.
If you have 2 and 2, yes. Or whatever it is.
Pulls out my
So
character
you roll
sheet.
4d10.
Okay, so it just be as like one word with the slash in front of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slash roll space 4d20. Yeah. 4d10 rather. So that's 1 success.
Yay! What does this mean?
Yeah, what is
The GM will tell you that now. You have, at the very least, succeeded once. I'm pretty sure they're just gifts. Don't know why I'm reading out
Alright,
everything that Will
yay.
types.
No, it's
Do it for the
useful.
recording.
Yeah, just read it.
Oh yeah.
Microphone activated.
Alright, now
Alright,
that
I'm back.
I have
Okay.
hello,
Hey.
now that I have successfully assured myself that these are just gifts,
Fucking
Paranoid.
I will wear the one. I will follow the labels and wear the evening one, whatever the fuck it was. The
Like,
first
oh,
Alright,
she's
so-
provided a dress. Does this mean I have to be a drug mule now?
Listen, okay, it could happen.
Right, yeah. So the first one is a cocktail dress style kimono thing. It looks kind of dainty and nice. And the second one is much more formal.
I have.
I swear to God, there's just kids outside my house going, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah." Like,
Yeah, kids do that.
They're having
they're
fun.
not
They're
even
enjoying-
words.
They're enjoying their life, okay?
Enjoy,
Just because
enjoy.
you're like, just because you're like old and grumpy now doesn't mean that you can't like you can't begrudge these children at their enjoyment of life.
I mean, I run around screaming
Annoying.
nonsense words at times, usually when I'm losing at League of Legends.
I'm
but-
doing it right now.
All right, what did you want to say, Shana?
Okay, if I wear this cocktail dress and whatnot, can I still bring some sort of weapon with me?
Do you have a knife?
Can I just like shove that down my front or something?
Yeah, you could probably conceal a knife somewhere on your body
Yes.
if you have one.
Wait.
If you have a body.
If you have
If
Turns out you were just a ghost all along. Dun dun dun.
But who was phone?
What if Jen was Kill?
Oh my god.
You made me
Anyway.
spit my drink. Right.
I'm not sure.
I don't think you have a knife.
inventory.
Um,
Yeah, I don't have a knife.
You probably have some kind of eating knife or eating
Get
pick,
good, scrub.
which are like just like a standard pokey thing to eat whatever with. So you could easily conceal that somewhere.
You could probably just pick
I'm
one off because you're probably going to dinner.
I'm yeah, I'll just pick that off. I'll hide it, conceal it somewhere on my body.
So paranoid. This is a party. Come on now.
Damn it. Listen, I know what happens in Game of Thrones. I'm familiar with this shit.
You're the kind of person that goes into a dungeon and before the GM says you enter a room and you immediately check for traps. You're that kind of player.
Yeah.
Which is the
I'll
one
do
thing
that
my group
too.
always forgets to do, and it's hilarious because I get to set bee mines on them.
bee mines.
Yes.
Standard pokey thing. Yes.
I
Yes.
made a trap that basically cast a spell on wasps and made them huge.
Oh, I thought you meant I was imagining like a landmine. You press it and
Me
bees just
too!
appear.
Yeah,
Bees come
that
out.
was sort of the same. It was sort of what it was. Yeah, but
Let's
it was
hoping for
magical.
smaller bees, like just 1,000 bees. And then
Well, there were
What?
1,000 small wasps
Like
as well.
it's a wasp's nest in the ground with a pressure plate on it.
Yeah, but it was pretty much that, but magical.
Sounds like something you would do in reality, like something you could do. Just put the wasp nest on the floor.
Weaponized bees, yeah, it's a thing.
Weaponized bees. Good.
Right.
Give them guns.
Alright, I freshen up and put on this cocktail dress thing and make myself look prettified. As prettified as I can get.
All right. While you're doing that, AJ, you are doing a similar thing in your room, I'm assuming, getting ready for guests arriving and such. Unless
Looking hot.
unless you want to be somewhere else doing something else.
Smoking
Oh,
a quick
make
doobie
the
behind the
kitchen
bike
getting
shed.
good. Feeding the goats.
Oh
Petting
yeah,
the goats.
there's a it's not on the map, but there's a stable like before the fountain in the middle, like further back.
Your pets and things.
I could be dressed already and just hanging out with the goats.
Get filthy, you nerd.
Why? Maybe I'm getting them dressed for the wedding. Putting on their little suits and whatnot. Putting
The-
some royal armor on them to make them look all
the
fancy
animals
and
the animals aren't allowed past the main entrance.
shit. Then how do they marry each other? I mean, you have those certain brothel places.
No.
Wink wonk.
What?
Just don't ask. Just don't ask.
All right. Kalu,
Yes.
are you in a similar position, or do you want to already be mingling with people?
I can be mingling with people. Like, I'm gonna guess it's in the main palace or like in the gardens or something.
Where did I say? The East Wing Conservatory. So
East Wing
here.
Conservatory. Okay, there. Okay, sure. I'll do that.
All right. So there's a couple dozen patricians and bureaucrats and so on and so forth. They're all mortals, including Sinus Wazelle Correa, who's there. She's the pretty one that doesn't want to marry anyone yet. And also Nellen's Rikista is there. She's an air-aspected silk trader, and has a reputation for making deals that she never forgets, and is always looking for new business ventures. So right now, just before you arrive in the conservatory, she's the only dragon-blooded in the room.
Okay.
So you make an entrance.
Make an entrance. Okay, so I suppose I was so trying to think here what I want to do. I walk in, and I guess I should scan the room, I guess. Scan the room. I enter in pretty undetected, I would say. Like, there's already so many people that not many people would notice my entrance, and
Potentially not.
potentially not.
Like I said, the only other dragon blood in the room is this Rikista person. So it depends. Yeah, actually, what are you wearing? What do you look like, and so on and so forth.
Saucy.
I would say I'm wearing a nice Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. Let me actually look up what I was thinking of. Doot doot doot. And then that way, because I haven't,
You haven't come up with a proper appearance yet,
I've,
have you?
well, I have, like, I know basically what I look like, but I'm trying to think of, like, the clothes that I'm wearing, and I have something in mind. Is like this, except ignore the face. I don't look like that. Hang on. Like that. So that's what I'm wearing. Ignore everything else.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
quite discreet, but still lavish.
And not
Yes,
wearing
exactly.
eyeshadow like the man in the photo.
No. No. I do have brown hair, and I'm quite pale, I would say, because I would say I spend most of my time studying magics, and so I don't get out too much, and I spend most of the time indoors or,
You're a bookworm.
that sort of thing. I'm a sorcerer,
Yeah.
You're
so
telling me you're a nerd.
yeah,
You're a nerd.
yeah, I'm a nerd.
Beat up the
All
nerd.
right. So you're trying to enter the room without getting noticed by too many people. Is that right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you to roll stealth for that.
Okay,
Sounds like it would be
so
too hard.
Let's see.
let me see. So
Manipulation plus stealth.
okay, so where would that? So stealth is 1, and then where's the other one?
Manipulation is an attribute.
Oh, okay. So 3 for that. Okay. So
Oh, you have 3 manipulation. Wow.
yeah.
No, not manipulation.
Okay, so I roll 4 d10s, or
Yep.
Okay.
That is 1 success.
Okay.
All right. So when you initially enter the room, nobody really notices you enter. A couple of patricians turn their head, and you sit down on one of the couches in the conservatory and just sort of watch the people that are coming in and just idly chatting and whatnot, until actually, yeah, no, I'm gonna say you manage to stay in the sidelines for now.
Okay.
So you're just gonna sit there for now until something happens?
I'm thinking that I kind of want to like observe the dragon-blooded person, see if I can like make any observations about her besides the fact that I know that she's a silk trader.
Sure. Yeah, so you're the one that recognizes the most names here in terms of the guest list, because I've given you a specialty in current events.
Okay.
So I will describe Rikista to you.
Okay.
Let's see. Her Nellen's Rikista's outward image is of a shrewd, tough-talking business magnate. She's drawn upon her dynastic upbringing and inborn canniness to establish herself as the leading textiles and luxury goods merchant in the Northeast. But it's her reliability and unwillingness to compromise that have allowed her to maintain and develop her trading empire. Clients, employees, and competitors know that her handshake is an unbreakable promise, and she meets betrayal and deceit with swift, unevocable retribution. Flatterers might call Rikista handsoming or striking, but her strong features and big bones are far from beautiful. Her skin is quite pale and sometimes tinged bluish. Her thick hair is silver blonde, and her eyes glint blue with the sunlight, and the dark with a slight grey, like grey shadows. She contrasts the pallid uniformity of her face with ornate jewelry and intensely coloured clothing of richest fabrics. She's currently wearing a full kimono of blues and greens, and her hair is ornamented with combs and pins, though it's kind of only half-heartedly styled. She seems to have a kind of bored expression on her face whilst she's interacting with a couple of patricians who are, well, you can't overhear the conversation from where you are, but you are assuming that it's, well, something that they're trying to interest her with, but she's very clearly bored by it.
Okay, so I suppose, unless you want to switch to someone else, but I think I'll try and maybe try and cut in, maybe.
Sure.
Because I do run that side business, so I'd be interested in maybe
That's true.
interesting her.
Have you thought
and
about
stuff.
what your side business is in? Or share in the business?
Side business is
Drugs?
Yeah, you have shares in a business.
Yeah, I have shares in the side business. I was thinking it'd be something like oh my goodness, what's it called? Like not drugs, but like medicines, like modern medicine sort of a thing.
Medicinal drugs.
Medicinal drugs, sure.
Concoctions and...
The more
Concoctions
legal
and stuff.
side of
The
it.
more legal side of things, yeah. Because
Sure.
I
All
know
about
that
drug business. Thank you.
drug business.
Sure.
Okay, so I was
Um,
thinking that, and then if she wanted to maybe support, like add some support into this startup side business that I'm doing. So basically, I guess I should try and cut in first and be like,
Yo.
if I'm able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so let me give you an idea of how the class system works.
Okay.
Basically, you are a dragon-blooded, or a dragon-blooded dynast of the realm, which puts you basically on top of everyone else, particularly mortals. So, if you want to interrupt anything that they're saying to her, you can, and they
Okay.
can't stop you.
Okay. Well, I know
To the
that
point where it's
I'm-
not even considered rude.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say like I'm known as polite, so maybe I
Sure.
I approach the group, and I make my entrance known to her, and that I tap her on the shoulder to get her attention.
As you approach, she turns towards
she
you.
turns.
She's definitely noticed you.
Okay.
Alright.
Winks.
Turns and has a facial expression that says, "Thank God somebody I can actually talk to."
Yeah, yeah. Wait, what time is it? It's like just approaching evening, so I guess late afternoon.
About 5:55.
Yeah. And it's the season of wood right now. I don't know if I've explained the calendar to you guys or not. Do you want me to go through that quickly?
Yes, it was. Yeah, go back through it because I remember vaguely what happened.
Sure.
What-
AJ, please.
So the Exalted calendar, there are 15 months, all of 28 days. Each 3 months is a specific season. So
Leaving you with 5 seasons, each relating to each aspect.
yes, so there's the season of wood, season of fire, earth, air, and water in that order. And
Give you a season of wood.
each month is then named in a similarly repeating fashion. So it goes ascending wood, resplendent wood, descendant wood, ascending fire, resplendent fire, descending fire, and so on. And the moon cycle is exactly the same each month. So there's a full moon on the 15th of every month and a new moon on the 1st. And then there's a 5-day period after the month of descendant water called calibration. And during calibration, the moon and the stars in the sky are not visible, and bad shit happens, typically. So we're...
And Garrus won't talk to you.
We are... we're in the month of descending wood. And it's, I don't know,
Lol.
second week, say the 9th or something of descendant wood. What's
You're all
lol say?
terrible.
This
You're all
Not
terrible.
rising.
Enough with the penis jokes.
Listen, no one said the word penis, Ferris. That was all you.
No, you just implied it.
I didn't play nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so Rikista turns to you.
Okay, oh, 1 second.
Sure.
Yeah, he just flopped over, soulless like Ferris.
I was comparing people leaving and their characters becoming inanimate in a similar way to when Sayaka loses her soul gem in Madoka, and she just kind of goes, just like becomes just like all rubbery.
Oh god.
We just fucking collapsed.
Okay,
into the
back.
ground.
I'm back.
Oh no,
Okay.
you're back.
Right, she turns to you and says, good afternoon. I don't believe we've been introduced. I'm Nellen's Rikista.
Okay. Good afternoon
And
to you
she
as
offers
well.
her hand.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon to you as well. It's a pleasure to meet you, make your acquaintance. I take her hand and kiss it, I guess.
Kiss it.
Mm.
Sure.
Ooh.
Do a Robin
Bowing
Hood. Steal
slightly
the
as I
jewels
do
in their
so.
rings. I do that.
Okay.
He's
My
the
name
jewels.
is, and then I introduce myself as, hang on, I gotta get my full name. Sinus Bilar Fasca. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my lady.
Milady.
My lady.
Thanks, Fedora.
I just thought of
What's
that.
the equivalent of a fedora in this
I have a
world?
Goodness gracious. Okay.
She nods and smiles and says, wait, what did you say? I got distracted by the
It is a
fedora
pleasure to
thing.
make your acquaintance, my
Right.
lady.
And I yours. Tell me, what do you do?
Oh, I am currently working in, oh goodness gracious, how do I even put this? I am currently working in medicinal
Microphone muted.
practices. I run a side business that is currently in the very beginnings, and I look up to your business as your business practices and hope that perhaps one day that I might be successful, that trying to think. You're getting into a turf war with me, thanks. Yeah, sure. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so basically, oh, that's fine. Um, hopefully that my business will be one day as successful as yours. You know, that sort of a thing, I guess. Wait for him to show back up. And then
Someone play
maybe I
elevator music.
persuade her to and say, actually, I was wondering um, about your business and if you have any current business ventures that you were interested in. Might I inquire as to what? Oh, yes, I deal in medicinal herbs and brews.
Potions, that's
And
a thing.
what? Yeah. Medicinal herbs and
Potions,
brews
salves, and the like.
and gets the brass knuckles on. Thanks, AJ.
Just all of a sudden comes riding in on a baby goat.
And a baby goat. Yeah, yeah. Bah. Anyway, uh, medicinal herbs and brews, and currently
Potions.
potions, lotions, and potions.
No.
No. Currently experimenting with different herbs to create um, uh, new and interesting medicines that can be used to help the mortals.
Ooh, big farmer over here.
Well, perhaps one day, oh, perhaps your customers would be interested in something that would be obviously as a silk trader you would know you know many fine people and trying to think oh fine people and these people might be interested in something that uh is more that they that is not only affordable but perhaps even lavish sometimes, that can help them with their needs. And while it's not exactly a textile industry, good job, AJ. Textile industry standard, perhaps the what's it called? The business venture could be successful together if only you are willing to perhaps take give it a try. Well, I thank you for your consideration then. Perhaps there is something else I can introduce you to.
Oh my god, Kalu, please.
No, I'm not didn't mean like that. Jesus Christ.
Think about what house you're from.
I suppose. I get it from my family. Okay, sounds good. Hey, emo.
Huh? What?
You.
Your character enters. How do you enter? What do you do? Tell us.
Fuck.
No, no, that is bad enter. Do not do that to enter.
What? Oh. Well, I said fuck. I said fuck because I didn't know what to do. Ugh.
You enter and immediately start an orgy.
Just raises my hands up as though I'm the hottest shit in town. Like, I'm
You might be
here
the
now.
hottest shit in town.
Well, yeah, I think you are.
Except for your house founder person, Fallon.
Well, they're not in
lady.
there yet.
True.
You are certainly the best looking in the room.
Comes in like the hottest piece of shit around. I don't know what my character's wearing right now. I'm still even designing their face. All I know is I want it to be the hottest face ever.
Okay.
Well, you made a lady character, and you are currently attending what is basically like the reception to a wedding. What are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
Something kind of like elegant but slightly revealing. So I feel like
So
that's what
basically, you're dressing like Rihanna at an awards show.
Yeah.
You've got like a V-necked dress, but the V ends at your belly button.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, my character is a show off, so they're gonna show it off because they know they got it.
If you got it, flaunt it.
I made a mom, or did you just give me one?
No, that was the one he showed you when you decided.
Oh, I thought this was just Sinus Fallon or whatever.
Yeah, that is
I
your
didn't
mother.
I didn't know it was my ma. I just thought she was just like some great grandma thing or whatever. It's just descendants.
That's your mom.
Oh, alright,
Well,
this is
no,
my mom.
with forebreeding, you are almost certainly a direct descendant.
Alright. That's my ma.
That's my mom.
She
Stop it,
basically-
mom! You're embarrassing me.
It's funny because he's literally just wearing the same thing. Alright, basically what she's wearing, but minus the skirt. Make that shorter.
Let me take another look at
Have
that
her
picture.
like long thigh, high types outings to cover the legs though.
Show off that butt.
Show
I'll
off
take
that booty
mom.
though.
Maybe grandma. Grandma would work.
Still
That way
looks
the
young
dark-
and hot.
Mhm.
No, you know what? Mom's fine. How many like lovers does she have? Does she just like keep spitting out babies? Because that's fine. Listen, I'm
Spitting
trying
out
to figure out how.
More or
Listen, I'm
less.
trying to figure
More.
out how the dark skin comes along.
God.
Jesus.
But yeah, sure, that's me, mom.
Okay. Anyway, so how do you enter?
Like the hottest shit in town.
Okay. So everyone notices you right away.
Yeah, because I don't care. I'm
Presence
at a
plus
wedding.
appearance.
There's no reason to hide. I start walking around asking if anyone is interested in my drugs to make the evening more memorable. Or not, depending on what you want.
Wow.
What? Maybe some people just don't feel like being here right now. Okay. Drugs?
Drugs? Question mark.
I was gonna say, you don't necessarily go around asking people if they want it. The people who want it will come to you
Well, obviously.
Ho ho ho.
because
Ho, ho, ho.
your reputation precedes you.
Jail?
No.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if I should be talking to anyone. I mean, I'm just here now.
Well,
Just
to-
as Rihanna, having
to
my
be honest,
fancy
I think
outfit.
after you enter the room and sort of sit down, you will accumulate your own crowd.
Okay.
Winks.
Starts
And orgy starts in the corner.
on the floor.
Well, more people that are brown nosing up to AJ, and perhaps some who are business associates or customers.
Customers, you invited your fucking addicts and junkies to this goddamn wedding.
Not junkies. These are high class.
High
Yeah.
class drugs.
High
It's like
class
opium.
My weed is the most expensive.
It's like when you hear about all those bankers doing coke off of a hooker, and that
Yeah.
it's that sort of it's high class.
Are there
High
hookers in here? Are there hookers
High
in
class
here?
hookers and
will there be
cocaine.
Will there be lines of crack cocaine on
It's
hookers'
not
Maybe
bellies?
later.
Are they just like
Hookers.
lying on the table?
They're not hookers, they're escorts.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Escorts.
Yeah, that's for later on in the evening when the festivities are done and people who are looking for a little bit more come in.
Alright, well, maybe they're
You know how
just
these
kind
things
of-
go, right? Am I the only person?
Yeah, maybe they're just currently
Christ.
surrounding me, and I'm not giving them anything yet because I know of the circumstances.
Having some respect for the family.
I was gonna say I grew up in a hippie town. I know how these parties go.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But do hippies usually do crack cocaine? I just thought it was like pot and
Some
stuff.
of them, some of them.
Microphone activated.
My character's probably off flirting with everyone, mostly trying to gather information for no reason, just so they know what's up with everyone and see what they want.
Braiding
Without
gossip.
act-
All right.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. So if I got all this correct, you entered the conservatory, and just by your entering, like almost all of the patricians that were surrounding, or patricians and other mortals that were surrounding, Fasca and Rikista, like run in your direction.
Yeah, they immediately
Oh
just
my
make
God.
their excuses and move over.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
It's like drugs.
So you're now surrounded by mortals. Do you say anything to them, or do you keep making your way towards the other two Dragonbloods in the room?
Business or discussion to get information for more business.
Well, do you and Kelly's character know each other?
Yeah,
Ah.
you both, you may not have grown up in the House of High Waves, but you have certainly been here before, and you most likely know of each other, and you've probably met a couple times but don't remember it or something, like distant cousins in real families.
Alright, I want to go talk to
You
the
can put a
other
name to
druggie.
the face.
Yeah.
The other druggie. Me.
Yeah. I'll go talk to that one.
All right. So,
Do you approve of each other's business practices? That's the question.
Fasca, one of your cousins, Emo, is approaching with a small crowd of patricians behind her.
Jesus Christ.
Some of them are metaphorically kissing her shoes.
Does it have to be metaphorically? I mean, they could crawl.
Yes, wouldn't brown nose that
the-
much at a public gathering.
Certainly not the patricians, at least. They, like, patricians like to think that they're important, but know that in reality anything that they ever achieve pales in comparison to somebody just being dragon-blooded.
Hmm.
Okay, so Emo is approaching, and I nod my head slightly towards her in greeting, knowing her very vaguely.
You like, in a similar way to how you vaguely know who Rikista is, you know who Emo is and what she's about, more or less.
Okay. Oh, is that what you're wearing?
Hmm.
Shoes look like this. These are my shoes.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm click. Oh my fucking god! Is that allowed?
The first pair, fine. The second pair, no.
What? They're heels. Look at them. They have
Gun
guns.
But they haven't invented guns yet.
The,
They
yeah,
have.
no. The,
Flint pistols on my back feet.
no.
This isn't Bayonetta. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't have gun shoes.
The first one, the black ones, they're fine. They're a bit ridiculous, but whatever. So are the sinuses. So.
Anyway,
So
I
you're
nod to
wearing
her.
that, but with like a green top or something.
Yeah, without the skirt, but with leggings. I think is what he
Right,
said.
right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I nod to Emo and greet her, being like, "Oh hey, what up, my sister?"
Sister from another mister.
What's up,
Sister
cousin?
from another mister. No, I don't say that. I just nod, and turn towards her, welcoming her into the group.
Along with her rest of
The rest of her
Yeah, and then
entourage.
so these patricians like made their excuses to leave, thinking that Emo was gonna like stop at the front of the conservatory door or something. Then and now they're back again.
And looking,
Yeah.
trying not to look at you.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Have a conversation with each
Fucking
other.
rude.
Interact.
Okay.
Cousin!
Yeah.
Rikista
It has
like,
been far
nods
too
her head
long.
as you approach,
Let's go bowling.
but doesn't actually
No.
say anything yet.
Something about big American titties.
Right.
Okay, so
Fuck you for
conversation
that Grand
between
Theft Auto
us, AJ.
Yeah, so just an in-game conversation of some sort.
Drugs?
Drug. You immediately like pull a small bag of crack cocaine out from between your boobs and offer it to them.
Oh my god, what is this, AJ? Is that what you're wearing?
Sure.
Wow.
You would actually, that would actually be within the boundaries of what you could wear.
Yeah, that's
That would be socially acceptable.
yeah, that's reasonable.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Let's
lie,
try to-
that is the weirdest fucking dress I've
The-
ever seen in my life.
The bit below the bra looks weird. It's like they sort of pinned half of a dress onto a bra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the picture before the second one, because it looks better that way.
Yeah.
But no, I am kind of flirtatious in the way I speak, and kind of asking if they're interested within anything. That's how I am.
All right.
Okay.
Need
Do you want
anything?
to roleplay it?
Okay.
Try and be in character if you
I
can.
know, it's weird.
I know.
No,
Just
don't
remember
usually-
Sour Goat? Remember Sour Goat, when you say that you, when you're asking them if they need anything, say it very sultrily and kind of like
No.
look them up and down in a way.
That's why
Sort
it's
of like,
weird.
I trust you're enjoying the party. Can I get you anything?
Can I make it more enjoyable for you?
Perfect.
Th-
Beautiful.
Perhaps not quite like that, but
No, that's
heavily imply without saying.
That you are definitely, DTF.
I'm not even at this party yet. Holy shit.
You know where you're gonna be married. You back the fuck up.
Anyway.
How do you respond?
Oh, I say, oh, emo, was it? I recall making your acquaintance earlier, in the year. How have you been?
Fuck.
You need some help here.
I'm so bad at this. Fine, just, doing businesses. Transactions.
Hanging out.
Business
Hanging out.
transactions.
Currently
me
doing some
too.
right now.
Business
Oh,
is
okay.
great.
Having my
Ri-
own brand of fun.
Rikista perks up a little bit when you mention your business. Oh, really? What do you deal in?
Drugs.
I know the answer to this one.
I set him up and you knock him down.
I guess my character would say it in a more like, what's the word? Like, imply, like,
Roundabout way.
like a way that says like you tend to help people relieve emotional issues as though if they want to some stress relief.
Listen, just say, yeah, I'm in the business of stress relief.
That works too.
Alright. Rikista gets the wrong impression. So you're a psychiatrist?
You could say I deal in some sort of psycho.
Psychoanalytical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I analyze you to see what kind of drugs you need.
But
Can I like pipe in?
That's amazing.
Like,
Go for it.
Be okay.
Thank you.
So emo actually deals in my sort of business as well.
This also handles pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceutical needs,
Oh, I
but
see.
in
I like-
a
alright.
more.
Can I just say I like the idea of us three fucking talking and I have like fucking like mortals literally hanging off of me. Equally around my feet. Like,
It's
looking
not
at
far
me.
cry from it now.
Yeah, I mean they're not like bowing to your every like footstep and breathing your farts or whatever, but they're they're groupies. They're like
Yeah.
they're they're not hanging off you literally, but they're
And I
hanging
just-
they're hanging on your every word, so to
Yeah,
speak.
they're always looking at you even when other people are talking.
I just
Yeah.
kind of like the idea that they're smaller than me, and they're just. I have these weird creatures, little humans, just hanging on me like so.
It's like, have you ever been in a crowded bar where there aren't enough bartenders to serve, and basically the person, like if the bartender nearest to you is fixated by everyone watching them and constantly just trying to get their attention without seeming too pushy.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
what were you about to say, Kelly?
I was gonna say, emo. I can't. I always laugh because I think of emo. Oh my god. Emo deals
Stabby, rip,
in the
stab,
same
stab.
sort of business as I do.
Oh, I think I understand, Rikista says. A slight smile on her lips. Alright. Rob,
Mwah.
you are just arriving. You've
Okay.
just made your way through the gates at the bottom of the hill, or it's about halfway up the hill, actually.
Fashionably late.
And what's your mode of transport? A horse or a horse and carriage?
First question: am I traveling alone or as part of a party? Are there others coming with me?
No, you are.
Perhaps not.
You are the only Sasus that's been invited to this party.
But perhaps I would travel. Would I travel with other people who were invited, like even if they're not part of my house?
Unlikely, considering that most of the remaining guests to arrive are mortals.
Okay. So yeah, I rock up my own, probably in a carriage.
Mm-hmm. All right. The carriage circles around the fountain and stops just before the entrance, like right here where I pinged. And
I can hear like the crunching gravel sounds that arrives.
yeah. It's like white marble gravel.
Yeah.
It's very.
Yeah, I can visualize it.
Yeah. So the carriage stops. Your driver, you like feel him climbing down from the carriage driving seat, because it rocks the whole carriage basically. And then he opens the door to your carriage and bows, because he's he's just a commoner. So he bows completely, and like doesn't even look at you, and is attempting to be as humble as possible. So
yeah, well, I sort of I'd step down from the carriage and I acknowledge that I have dismounted, and I leave him back to return to what it was that he was doing, and I head inside. Which leads me to my second question: have I been here before?
No.
No.
So you've been traveling quite a long way, actually.
Yes.
I don't know where exactly you were originally stationed as mercantile, whatever it is that your job is.
Well, I'm sort of like a quartermaster, but a little bit more than that. So I'd be wherever the unit I'm with is stationed. So.
Right. Yeah. So you've been given temporary leave from that job, for basically the entire season of fire, like the remainder of this month, and then the rest of the season of fire.
Right.
So
that's
like
unusual.
3 and a bit months of leave, paid leave, granted, but it seems a little bit odd just to go to a wedding that's like a week's journey away.
Yeah.
So yes, you've been traveling for about a week.
Okay. I assume I'm greeted by the same people and given key, etc.
Yeah. You enter the house, the first chamber. You like show them your invitation. You sign their guest book. You the driver of the carriage has finished unloading your stuff from the carriage roof, and is in a pile like just outside the door. So you like give a nod, and Sinus house servants go and collect it and like start taking it up to your room, and you now have the choice to immediately begin mingling or go up to the room as well.
I think I will go up to the room because I'm probably wearing travelling clothes and I'm far from in a suitable fashion.
So
You did the same.
Listen, I was riding on a horse, so I probably was literally filthy. He was riding in a fucking carriage.
Yes, but I can't very well go to a fancy dinner in my travelling robes. That's just not done.
Suppose you brought a dressing robe with
I
you
was gonna
too, huh?
Listen, lady, I'm British. I know about these things.
Alright, so you get taken to the guest rooms by
Taken to the big dressing room in the sky.
led by one of the servants that's carrying your stuff. So I'm gonna say that the guest rooms on the west side are for non-Sinus guests, and then the ones on the east side are for Sinus guests. So you're put actually on the same floor as Faska, And as you like turn up the stairs, she's coming out of her room, dressed.
I'm sorry, did you say Fasca?
Yes. Sorry, not Fasca. Donati.
I'm not there.
Yeah, sorry, Donati. She comes out of her room, dressed in a kimono cocktail dress thing.
Winks.
So, like, you're on your way to your room, and she's between you and your room.
I boot him in there and lock the door. No.
Presumably we don't know each other.
You don't know each other, no.
Okay, I have to just by looking, can you tell that someone is exalted or no?
Not necessarily, but you can.
Do we feel each other's magical presence? Is there like a tingle
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
air?
Whoa, hey, we've just met.
Fuck off.
So you can.
Touch butt.
Actually, what would it be?
Touch your butt.
Touch his butt.
If you both roll your essence in dice.
I have essence 1, so.
Rob got a success.
No.
And you do not. Okay, so Rob, you don't know if this person that has just like turned into the hall from her room is exalted or not, but Jen, you can tell that this person that's just come up the stairs is exalted.
Wait. If
Other
I
way
didn't get a
around.
success, how do I...
Other way around.
Other way around, it's his success is giving off a presence that you can sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, because I don't have...
So yeah, you have a
that
weaker
good magical
essence.
abilities.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
you can definitely tell that this guy is exalted.
Uh-huh.
Jen has a small inner monologue. She's like, "Whoa, what an intense spiritual pressure."
Not exactly. It's
Do I, like, put on my goggles and say, it's power! It's over 9,000!
You're actually holding the scatter upside down.
what does the scatter say about his essence level? It's 2.
Doesn't have quite have the same impact.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Rob, how do you react? Somebody who
I'm assuming from the fact that they're in the guest room level that they are at least sort of important. So I politely nod my head as I pass, but I don't make any other particular effort to talk to them.
Fair enough. Right.
Yeah, his appearance takes me a little bit by surprise, but he makes no move to say hi other than a nod, so I'm just like, alright, move on.
Fair enough. Right, so Rob, you arrive in your room, and similar situation to Jen. There are clothes prepared for you that are gifts.
Excellent.
And you can. Hang on, what is it? What are they called? The like male equivalent of a kimono, the like Japanese samurai.
Oh,
Yukata?
yes.
Yukata. Yeah, that's the one. It's like one of those, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
This
a
is such a
little bit
weeb
more
game.
vibrant. Little bit more vibrant
I'm not a
than
weeb.
a standard like black
Whatever,
one that you
Hatsuhu
would
boyfriend.
see.
Shut up.
And the one for the wedding tomorrow is I don't know, you can decide what that one is.
Okay.
Equally, Jen, the whatever your dress tomorrow will be, you can decide that. Like whatever you decide is what they gave you as a present.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't treat these gifts with nearly the suspicion that Jen does, but I freshen myself up and I wear the things that I'm given.
So I should mention this house has like full plumbing and hot water and all of that jazz.
Yeah.
So it's similar to the kind of luxuries that residents of the Imperial City and other large places have access to, except it's secluded.
Yeah.
And basically the reason for that is because it's right on top of a natural spring.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also why the surrounding fields and orchards and so on are so prosperous.
Mm-hmm. Fertile ground.
Indeed. Indeed.
Are there lemon trees?
Not entirely a metaphor for the Sinus family in general.
Oh my god.
Fertile and
other lemon trees.
prosperous?
Probably. Yeah, there probably are actually. It's probably the right kind of climate for lemons.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
It's all sourdough ones, just lemons and goats.
it's the ideal life. But yes, I put on the clothes, but with the exception of one of the things I brought with me, which is it's like a waistcoat, but it's sort of like one of those things that it's like barely anything, and you could just wear it over the top of pretty much anything.
Right. Yeah.
But it's a burgundy waistcoat with the house emblem, which is basically just shows, look, I'm
a Sasus.
Yeah.
Sure. Alright, so Jen, or Donati, you've just seen this guy pass you and head into his room, and I assume that you're heading down to where other guests are congregating now?
Yes, before that, I think I found the dress that I want for tomorrow or during the wedding. Because I'm a fancy nerd.
Let's see. Ooh, that's nice.
That is nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's sort of like the thing my sister wants.
Except I would wear better. Wink wonk.
Shots fired.
I
Yeah, go ahead. Unless you want to explore or something.
Explore, that seems fairly rude.
Give a second.
Well, you're already
Everyone has done
suspicious of the
exploring.
free clothes they're giving you. Maybe you think there's booby traps as well.
You can check for
can
traps.
I roll for traps? Let me just roll for traps. Like roll to check for traps, just because.
Alright, it's notice. It's your notice roll, which is perception plus awareness.
I'm gonna go microwave my dinner whilst this shenanigans happens.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 6. Oh, all successes. Hello.
Nice.
Successes on what?
Holy
roll
crap!
to check
1,
for
2,
traps.
3,
All
4,
of them.
5, 6. Yeah, that's 7 successes. Because
Did
10.
you check for traps at a wedding?
So 10. Oh my god! So 10 counts as a double success. So you got 7 successes, which is 2 above a phenomenal success.
Yes. Let me screenshot that.
Notice the danger of forks are in this room. That's about it.
Oh, I almost
Also
want
the
to. I almost want
amount
to
of drugs.
invent something now just for that.
I mean, what about his hidden secret passages ways? Would that count as traps?
Yeah. Okay, so you notice on the first floor of the guest room, like, building that you're in, just as you're about to pass back into the garden, like the little oriental garden, I mean, in the courtyard, you notice that one of the like redstone bricks that all of these buildings are made out of is like slightly the wrong color, as though it's made out of a different material.
See.
And
What could
you
this-
suspect that it's probably some kind of hidden button.
Okay. A hidden bathroom.
It's the kinky orgy room.
Oh my god. So, like a hidden room, basically.
Well, it's a button that might reveal something.
Why did you check for traps at a goddamn wedding? I went to go
Listen,
get
someone
something.
said that as... So who said that? Who fucking gave me the idea?
It was me.
Yeah.
What did you say? I literally left for like 2 seconds to grab something.
I was joking.
What did you say? Did you tell them there was traps in here?
No. I
he
said,
said
oh, you're
basically-
so paranoid. You're gonna check for traps as well, or something.
Oh,
And I was like,
well,
can I check for traps?
it's great.
And I got 7 successes.
Cat's face.
Watch me not be anywhere close as successful ever again within this session. Or just within any session. I
Also,
check
I'm
for
gonna
traps
wear
and
this-
fail
I'm
everything.
gonna
I'll
Yeah.
push
this
you
to the
into
wedding.
the traps.
So
Found it.
you found this button. Do you actually do anything with it, or do you just carry on?
That my wedding outfit.
Oh, let me click this. Hold on.
Ooh,
Oh!
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone around? Like, is there anyone else around who might see me if I go and click this button?
There are servants around.
Would care.
They might report back to the head of the house if they see you do it.
I'll leave it for now.
Fair
But
enough.
I make note of its position, just in case, I have a chance later to check it out.
Alright. And then you head to the conservatory, I take it?
Yes.
It's over here.
Yep.
Cool.
Do I,
Alright,
do I make
so-
my entrance?
Yeah, make an entrance.
Alright, I enter the room, and, I notice immediately that there's a fucking crowd of people on one side. And in the center seem to be, series of individuals. Possibly exalts. Can I also roll to check if they're exalts or not?
So from just the social, like, position of everyone in the room, you can tell that the 3 people that the patricians are gathered around mostly, you can tell that if they're not exalts, then they're fucking important either way.
Okay. But yes, I noticed that they are, that there's basically a crowd of people around these 3 others, and, would I know any of them by reputation? Would I have met any of them before?
You notice that one of them looks a lot like depictions that you've seen of the head of, or not the head, one of the heads of House Sinus, Sinus Fallon. So you're not sure if you're actually looking at the Sinus Fallon or not, or whether it's someone that just looks a lot like her.
Okay.
And the other 2, no, you probably don't know who the other 2 are.
Okay. I obviously take note of where they are, but is there food and drink, like on tables and stuff?
Yes, so servants are carrying like champagne glasses on silver platters and whatever other beverages you want, ciders, cocktails, etc. And then there's a few others that are wandering around with like vol au vents and various other appetizers, caviar and cocktail
miniature pizzas.
cocktail sausages. Yeah, all that
Alright,
sort of stuff.
I I don't know, snags a small snack because I've been on the road for a while and I'm probably hungry, and I get myself a non-alcoholic drink
Mm-hmm.
before possibly making my way over to the Exalt or the important people. Question: where are my the rest of my group?
So they're probably basically guests are congregating in this building and this conservatory. Since they're only mortals and some of them aren't even patricians, I don't think. They're
Was
very
it the business person?
yeah.
patrician?
So he's probably with you.
Okay.
Your pretty boyfriend and the three soldiers are like just being wallflowers or something. They're
They
just
in the room.
they're probably not in the conservatory.
Okay.
You could bring your friend man with you to the conservatory if you want as well.
Nah, he can have fun by himself. So you said my businessman is there, right?
Yeah.
Would he know who these other exalts are? Would he have any knowledge?
Let me think.
And if he does, can he tell me anything important about them?
All right. So he, you turn to him and like quietly ask him who the people standing over there are, and he looks at them for a moment and then says, "I recognize the lady in blue. What did I say she was wearing? Blue and black or blue and gold, I think. That's Nellen's Rikista. She's a highly successful silk trader and other textiles dealer. The other two I'm not so sure about. Though the one on the left looks an awful lot like Sinus Fallon.
Oh, hang on, I have a call I have to take. One sec.
Sure.
Okay.
One of the members of the party is called out of the room by a servant.
I'm still looking up outfits.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Alright,
wrong number apparently. Oh.
Alright, with this information and that one of them is actually from my house,
Yep.
I make my way over to make the proper introductions.
Sure. All right.
Don't just as a question, don't I get like a -1 for being a lost egg or something? And socializing with the other dynasts.
Nellens generally, yeah, they do have a certain stigmatism against them from other houses, but Sinus isn't one of them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I go over. I make my introductions. Do I have to push people out of the way to get to these three? Because I will push.
You would like begin walking towards them, and like as you approach the first like wall of patricians, you like tap one on the shoulder and then begin like strong arming past them, and
Oh my God.
they like open out and let you pass. I mean, I'm perhaps exaggerating how many of them there are.
There's like 20 of them.
There's about 20 of them, but you guys are like sitting on couches in the conservatory at this point, and the patricians that are very interested in whatever they're saying are like crowded around behind the sofas, and then others that have since like lost interest have wandered off to sit on their own, or with other groups of people. So there's a direct, what's it called? Like, you can make a beeline for one of the spare seats in the couches that none of the patricians have dared to take this remaining seat. So
I moved toward that seat because fuck you guys.
yeah, so by fact of taking that seat and sitting in it with the other Dragon Bloods, should be enough to tell everyone to like visually announce to everyone that you're important enough to do that. If that makes sense.
Alright, I'm sitting in the seat. I'm relaxing a little bit.
Alright, so Brian and AJ, this lady has just shown up, taken some drinks, said a couple
and is
words.
moseying in on your groove.
Said a couple of words to one of the people that she entered with, and then like made a beeline straight for the couch and sat down. Converse.
I greet these people, you know, hello. I'm enjoying this party so far. I am Nellens Donati. And I turn first to because that's the only person that I vaguely know who it is, and greet her by name, I suppose.
Sure. So
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
Nellens Rakista. Greetings, she says. You know my name, but I unfortunately do not know yours.
I'm Nellens Donati. And how many other Nellens are invited into this party? Is it just us two?
Nellens Dragonbloods. There's you, Rikista.
One other, I think.
And Malachi.
Malachi.
And then,
okay, so
then all of the other Nellens, including the groom, are mortals.
Okay,
Either
so
dynastic mortals of House Nellens or patricians.
I offer my handshake to this Rikista and introduce myself as Nellens Donati.
Ah, so you're the other one. How do you do? She sits up in her seat and shakes your hand.
Doing fairly well. I just arrived. Ask if perhaps anything interesting has been going on, and who these wonderful people that she's talking to are.
She says, I've just been conversing with Sinus Fasca and her cousin Emo. They're both dealers, so to speak, in medicine. What was it that you do?
How exactly do I describe what I do?
You
I'm,
can just say you're a mercenary.
The head of a small mercenary force?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm the head of a small mercenary force.
Ah, interesting.
Sargo, what the fuck is that?
You must be the one that I've heard about, then. Someone told me that someone in House Nellens was trying to get a small mercenary company together. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Is anyone else gonna say anything, or do I continue?
Yeah, like,
You continue.
so yeah, she's introduced the other two people that are there, but so far they've remained silent.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to interject
No,
because I was
you-
gonna
you-
say.
Yeah,
You
'cause,
can
like, they were
interject at any
talking
point.
and
Go for
it's
it.
like, okay.
I was gonna say I could.
You're an
promise
exile.
you-
Do what you want.
Alright, I was gonna say I could promise you the type of drugs I can give you are gonna give you a better effect than these can.
Excuse? What drugs? I haven't taken drugs.
Well, because they introduced us as dealers, and I was like, I can most definitely give you the stuff that really works.
I interject and say, while that might be Emo's business, I can assure you that I don't assume that you're interested in our dealership. Our dealings.
I don't care if they assume. I'm gonna fucking offer.
Jen, how do you respond?
Well, perhaps I'm not looking for medicine right now, but you know, if you are ever in need of protection or need anything carried out, I am always available.
All right.
I look at Emo and wink.
Wait.
Rob, you've finished getting changed and all that.
I'm dressed. I'm clean.
Are you really? Your soul is filthy.
You
Is there an open seat next to Jen's character? Because I
No,
want
you
to
have to
stand
fucking
up.
stand like a scrub.
No, I want to stand up and just go sit next to them now and start flirting with them.
so you make your way
Well,
motorbike.
I make my way to the nearest motorbike and
Riding
I start doing
style.
some
ride
sick
off into the
tricks.
sunset.
Emo gets on a motorcycle and
Credits
starts doing some
roll.
sick tricks right in there.
No, I'm gonna head down to the lobby first of all, and
This bit, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So at this point, it's getting quite crowded. Seems like you're approaching the point where somebody's going to show up and say, it's time to get on with this show.
yeah,
But it's not happened just yet. So
Not
you've
happened.
got maybe a few minutes.
I want to glance around and see if my fiance is there.
Gross. Someone starts his own orgy off in the corner.
I haven't even greeted her yet.
She
I
is
agree,
not.
duh.
She's not in this
With
room.
orgies.
She's not in this room. No.
No, okay. There's nobody of import in this room.
At this point, there are a couple of small crowds of people, patricians, mortal dynasts, etc., in like in the same way that like a lot of people like split off into smaller groups of conversation. And a couple of them seem to be headed by somewhat important looking people, maybe. You're not sure. It's pretty loud and echoey in the room, and yeah, you can't spot your fiancé, and you don't immediately recognize any of the centerpieces of these wells of conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll probably move over to the conservatory as well then.
All right. Another motorbike passes, and just as you're entering this building, or the sort of pass between these two buildings, you hear your name called from behind you.
All right. Okay. I turn.
From
All the
across the other side of the room, you see Sinus Bellar. One of the Sinus heads,
Right. Okay.
and your fiance's grandmother.
Ah. Okay. And presumably we've met before.
You haven't, but she seems to have recognized you somehow. You hear your name called.
Okay. Okay.
So, someone you hear from across the
Yeah.
chamber, and you spin around to see who it was.
Who is that?
And I recognize them.
You think you do. You're not sure. She looks kind of like your fiance, but then
Really old.
Right.
well, in that she's blonde and fairly fair-skinned. But she's wearing she has her hand raised as you turn around, so you see who it was that called you. And she's wearing she's wearing something that's kind of unusual, perhaps. Well,
Is this
I don't know.
grandmother wearing something incredibly revealing?
No, not that. So she's got very
That's me.
No.
very perfect skin, and brown, reddish eyes, long blonde hair that is plaited, with pale sort of silverish highlights. She's wearing a circlet of silver around her brow, and her clothes are it looks like armor crossed with formal attire. So
Right. Okay. Yeah.
there's hardened leather corset that she's wearing that's made of black and red leather, and it's got a scale embossment on the red bit. She's also got a pauldron on her left shoulder, but then a long silk red cloak hanging off her left shoulder. Her arms are draped in, or underneath the corset, she seems to be wearing a white toga of some description that covers both her arms. And then she's wearing brown leather pants and long black leather boots.
Okay.
And I will link a reference picture.
Well, I clearly recognize her as being somebody quite important.
Yeah.
So I turn and I approach them, and I don't so much bow, but I tip my head as a sign of formal respect, and I say, "You have found me. Forgive me. You have the advantage."
I thought I recognized you, but I had to be sure. You're Casus Kajak Somon, right?
Indeed.
My future grandson-in-law.
Ah. I extend my hand in greeting.
She sort of she doesn't exactly shake your hand, but she clasps it momentarily, let's
Yeah.
say.
I know how that goes.
Yeah. she has a kind of well, she's very pragmatic, so she's like she's pleased to meet you,
But yeah, okay.
but there's a lot on her mind or whatever.
Yeah.
So she was like, she called you over to just double check that it was you that had arrived, sort of thing. So she's mostly just making small talk. So like, how was your trip?
I sort of I hide a grimace and say these long journeys are always more than a little tiresome, but now I'm much more comfortable now that I'm here. Thank you.
I'm familiar with the feeling, believe me. Say, could you get me a drink?
I oblige.
She like asks for some kind of cocktail of some description, and you get one of the passing servants' attention. If you are actually gonna do that for her.
Oh yes.
Sure. Yeah, so you get a passing servant's attention, ask for the drink, and then return your attention to her.
I love how the way this works is I ask you for a drink, you ask a servant to get you the drink so you can give to her.
Yeah, like the sort of the strange thing about that interaction was that she could have just asked one of her servants for a drink, but she asked you to ask one of her servants for a drink.
It's all a play on status, you see.
Yeah. So you, now that you know who this person is, it's Sinus Bella. She's a sorceress. She's wood aspected. And she's like the keen, keen-witted, kind of sly member of the three leaders of House Sinus.
She's a schemer.
Yeah.
I like her already.
I was gonna say something. I'm afraid Yana is still preparing, as far as I'm aware. She will be joining us for dinner shortly, however. And then there's something else I was going to ask.
I imagine this is. She sort of just like looks across the crowd and is like. I'm not quite sure whether I'm supposed to be expected to reply to that or whether this just is a really long pause. So I just kind of stand there.
You're in the mercantile business, yes?
Again, hiding a grimace, I nod and say, yes, I am. The house has matters that needs attending to when we are not marshalling the troops.
She feigns a smile and then says something that seems kind of cryptic, but it might just be nonsense, and says, "You'll be useful later then." And then...
Oh. That sounds ominous, more than
then
cryptic.
I note that, but say nothing.
She, like, lifts her drink as, like, a toast to you, but then doesn't say anything, drinks it, and then turns and walks back into the main palace.
So clearly she's creepy as fuck. No.
It's not creepy, but it's cryptic. It's like...
Who is this again?
This is his fiance's grandmother.
Yeah, name though.
Who doesn't look like her
Sinus Balar.
Oh, okay. Them.
I linked her picture in TeamSpeak.
A grandmother, and yes, she looks like she's in like her late 20s.
Well, to be fair, I'm 30 and I look like I'm in my late 20s.
No, you look
Beauty
like you're
being
in your
exalted,
early
baby.
20s.
Oh, yeah, early 20s. It's the beauty of being exalted, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, so how do you respond to this bizarre interaction?
Well,
Pray to the gods you don't get cursed.
it was an unusual conversation, but by the standards of high-class dynastic society conversations, not the weirdest conversation I've ever had.
Yeah.
But I decide perhaps that now I need a drink. So,
Sure. You head back towards you head towards where a servant is taking somebody else's order, and like add to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off this way, but just find me when you're done.
And around the same time, the what's it called? There's a very loud, or not loud, it's so
Resounding.
there's a very resounding sound of a gong. But it's like, it sounds as though it's in the next room, and yet it can be heard from every room in the building.
Yeah.
So it's obviously
impeccable acoustic design.
It's obviously, well, maybe not obviously. For those of you with more than 2 points in occult, you can tell that it's a magical bell.
Ah, okay.
For the rest of you, you just think there's a gong in the next room. And this signals that dinner will be ready very shortly, and so people begin congregating or moving towards this building here, which is where the main meal is being served this evening. So you were like about to give your order for a drink, and then this gong interrupts you, and everyone hears it. Do you still want to get your drink or wait for dinner now? Because drinks will be served with dinner.
Yeah. Knowing that, and considering I'm not engaged in conversation with anybody at the moment, I head to the conservatory.
Yeah, it's not the conservatory necessarily. It's like, so this is a great hall. Each of these 5
Oh, right,
things,
the conservatory's at the bit on the end.
Yeah, so
okay,
each of these things houses a giant hall for like about 100 people to fit in.
I'll head over to the hall.
And like the halls are easily refurbished. Like their design is kind of very modular in a way.
I know what you mean.
So they can be refitted like very quickly.
They're an English gentleman's smoking room.
Yeah. So everyone starts moving from these 2 buildings towards this one, effectively. Or towards this one. And yeah, so there's about 100 people here in total. But the like most important Dragonbloods or Dynasts, people that have been invited to this place, are seated on the same table. So there's about a 10-minute grace period whilst they allow for people to make their way towards the room, or towards the dinner room. So what does everyone do?
I stand up and, I suppose wait for the other 3 to stand up and I suppose walk with me. 'Cause, I don't know. I think it'd be rude to just all of a sudden just up and leave them behind.
I'm outie. Food's
Oh,
being
really?
served.
Dinner time. See you shitloads later.
Yeah. I take it the rest of what's her name? Rikista stands up as well, and decides to walk with you. Do the two Sinus cousins do the same thing?
Yeah. I turn towards Emo and God, I cannot say that name with a straight face.
Imo. Say Imo instead.
Say Imo. Okay, I'll say Imo. I
Sure.
turn towards Imo and I stand up and offer her hand, just to like help her off the couch.
Flirting with your own cousin.
No, and out of politeness, I'm a polite character.
It's
Uh-huh.
fine. It's our house rules.
Uh-huh.
Takes their hand and walks with them.
Yeah.
Flat.
It's like
Flutters
if you're at a
eyes.
dinner party, you offer your arm to your sister if she's not accompanied.
Yeah.
That's the correct thing to do.
Flutters eyes at.
Do I have to offer my arm to Rikasta? Or
No.
No.
Okay.
You're just walking together. That's fine. As
Concept of
you're
chaperoning.
so as you pass through this building, Rob.
Oh, I just remembered that there's like about 1 million people following us now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sort of.
Those are mine.
Your hangers on.
Let's roll or GM roll. What's your notice, Rob?
My notice.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Wits plus
I
awareness.
refreshed the page and it disappeared.
Wit-
Wits plus awareness is 6.
6.
The perfect necklace.
What is notice? Is
I see.
That's...
Good job.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the boxing octopus. Drunk octopus wants to fight.
Boxing octo. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Wait, I'm clicking. It froze.
I like how that concept is literally from the fact that if you take a coat hanger with the screws out, it looks like a drunken octopus putting his fists up.
What?
You know, like brass coat hangers.
Yeah.
If you take the screws out of it, it looks like a drunken octopus putting his fists up. Because his eyes are wonky and he's got the oval head and he's like putting the two things up.
Everyone stares at you awkwardly.
What kind of coat hangers
Just
do
don't
you
worry
have
about it.
that
Oh,
look
no.
like octopuses?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, so you like in this part of the building, you see a guy with quite dark skin and like hazelish yellow eyes and long silver hair. He's like loafing on a couch in this hallway, smoking a hookah.
Ooh.
Goes to join.
And I'll show you a picture of that exact image. And he's very pretty.
Oh.
And wearing this like lavish blue dinner jacket. And he like looks at
Smoking a
you
hookah.
and blows smoke. Not necessarily intentionally, but like as you pass him, he exhales a load of smoke.
Ferris, I think you're being flirted at. Go talk to him.
Shotgun with them.
Do you see this ring?
Listen,
You're not
these
married
get
yet.
around.
No.
They
Principal
like to you know, they like to pass the beans around.
You don't recognize him, but he's almost certainly dragon-blooded.
With that kind of face? Hell yeah.
Do you just pass him or interact with him or anything?
Is he aware of the fact that I'm here? Like, is he looking at me? Like,
Yeah,
not...
he's like, he was watching you as you were approaching down this hallway.
Mhm.
But he, at the same time, he also seems kind of out of it.
Is
but
there anyone else
he
in
doesn't
the
say
hallway
anything.
with us, or is it just us two?
There's patricians passing.
But none of them seem particularly interested in him. Let me make that easy. He's not with anyone.
No, he's
nobody is standing near him, like as if they were talking to him.
No. In fact, like, as far as you can tell, he was in here before the gong was rung, and nobody else was. And now that the gong's been rung, everyone's passing through, and he's strangely remained unobservant until you just turned to face him.
I sort of... I walk past him, but like as I walk past him, I stop. I turn to him and I say, "Quite the gathering we have here," like indicating the party.
Indeed, it should be quite a show. You're Sasus Kajak Somon, aren't you?
I chuckle a little bit to myself, and it says, "It seems everyone here has the advantage of me."
Well, you do wear a Sasus logo on you.
That I must concede.
And you're the only Sasus on the guest list, as far as I'm aware.
And who might you be?
He sits up, takes another swig. Drag. I don't know how hookahs work, man.
Take a drag.
He takes another drag.
Anything you smoke, you drag.
Right. Sits up. I do drugs, man. I know how drugs work.
This one time, I injected a whole drug.
I injected one whole weed.
Injected a whole weed, yeah.
Yeah, takes another drag. And says, I'm Rokujai. Bella Rokujai.
How the fuck do you spell that?
Rokujai.
Whoa. R-O-K.
Rokujai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motorbike.
Was that a name you read out earlier?
Yes. So this, now that he said his name, you realize who he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, what house is he from?
Sinus. He's a sorceress martial artist who notoriously spent a few years as a prostitute.
Yeah, him. That explains a lot.
And he's now the owner of dozens of brothels or houses of pleasure within the Imperial City and like within a few other areas of the Blessed Isle. And yeah, he's become a very successful businessman off the back of that. What's your law?
That is also a good question. My law is
3.
3.
Knew it.
Okay. If you roll intelligence plus law, please.
Oh,
How many successes?
that's 5 successes.
All right. Wow.
got
so
2 tens.
Not as good as my roll though.
That 10s do count as double, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was a brilliant but aimless youth. Rokujai first attended the Cloister of Wisdom, much to the amazement of his family, and then attended Heptagram. And as soon as he finished his studies there, he turned his years of education into being a prostitute. The disdain of the
As you do.
realm and its power brokers was palpable, but his behavior was scandalous even for a Sinus. And even within House Sinus, pressure mounted to disown him at one point, until Bellar herself interviewed him to find out what was going on in his head. The two of them talked for hours, and after that, whatever his answer was to her, she was satisfied by it because she refuses to hear any criticism of him from here on out. So, after being a well-remunerated prostitute for several years, Rakujai retired from that profession and instead opened several popular houses of pleasure in major cities across the realm. 7 of which were in the Scarlet Prefecture, which is where the Imperial City is based. And these respected places of pleasure were, well, a lot of people oh god, what's the word? Like, it's not common conjecture, but like people that are smart enough realize that these houses of pleasure are primarily for intelligence gathering rather than their
He's the
rather
little
rather
finger
yeah
of
rather than their
the Imperial
immediately
City.
obvious function. Yeah, they are information places. Yeah, so he's Littlefinger in some sense. He's the Sinus spy master.
Right.
Oh, wow. Nice.
It's a little hard to contain my surprise, but I do my best. And I say, forgive me, I should have recognized a heptagram alumni of your what's the word?
Status?
Of your status. I hear you're quite the businessman.
Indeed.
I offer my hand.
He stands at this point.
Do you kiss his hand? When you
I
want?
shake it.
he shakes your hand.
Remember, Caesar's K-Jack Someone has no equals.
He's kind of fanciful in his body language. Like, he does a little curtsy when he shakes your hand, but it's obviously not him humbling himself before you.
Yeah, it's not insincere, but the effect is not lost on me.
Yeah. Shall we walk together?
I indicate the way and we go.
Sure. So you start walking towards the dining room together. I hear you're in charge of some kind of mercantile company.
Everyone wants to know about his work stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is business. Once again, it's the I poorly conceal the grimace because it's a mantra that follows me around that I'm not too happy with because it's not a befitting status for Osasis. But I do the thing where I sort of I conceal a grimace and I say yes to an extent. I work in the house business.
He kind of raises an eyebrow, but then lets it slide, whatever it was that he was thinking. You carry on walking, and he seems to be lost in thought for a moment. And yeah, it's not an awkward silence, but it's a weird silence. You get the impression that almost everything that this guy says is a calculated move. So he takes his time when he says stuff quite frequently. In fact, you get the impression that a lot of Sinus Bellars, or descendants of Sinus Bellar, are like that. Out of game, I can't think of much more to say right now. So I'm going to move over to the rest of the party, making their way also towards the dining room.
And on that note, I'm going to go get a drink real quick.
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, so at this point, you've been walking. You're now in this building and about to enter the corridor that Rob and, or I should say, Somon and Rokujai were just in. Jen, Rikista is talking to you. She says, so how long have you been trying to get this mercenary company together?
That is an exceedingly good question. Okay. I don't exactly know because I formed the group after graduation, but I don't know entirely how long it's been since then.
We can say it's been less than a year if you want.
Less than a year? Man, I work fast. Jesus Christ.
Well, you've taken on
User
like,
disconnected from your
a
channel.
couple of
there goes
contracts,
Test.
right?
Oh, he's gone. Goodbye.
Hi,
I've
Tess.
taken on a couple of contracts. Did you read the history thing that I put?
Yeah, I did. So you've taken on like one or two things with the deliberative, and since then things have opened out. So
Yeah.
So prior to that, it would have just been jobs for patricians or whatever who could afford it, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, you're still early days, I'd say.
So about a year then,
Sure.
or half a year, which.
Whatever suits you.
Half a year because I'm too good.
Sure.
But yeah, I just say about half a year, and we've only now just begun to get a few more interesting offers.
Are you how to say this? I assume that you are fairly well informed then.
I suppose I would be. I do have a few connections and numerous places.
Are you fully booked at the moment?
Oh, so she wants something from me. Hello. I suppose not at this time, otherwise I wouldn't have had much time to come to this wedding. But
Of
for
course.
the time being, our schedule is open. If anything?
Well, it's just that I have a small quibble that may need the kind of skills that you can provide. Maybe we should talk more about it at the table.
All right, I'm all for this.
So you keep on walking.
Yes.
Do Imo or Fasco say anything to each other whilst walking?
Thanks.
Imo.
That's very it's
Yeah,
very,
Imo looks at the at everyone's butts and points out who's hot.
Oh goodness. I guess I ask her how her business has been because I haven't seen her in quite a while.
I just point to everyone following us.
I nod in understanding and give a thumbs up.
That's bro.
That's bro for bro.
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 I'm good at this.
You're good at that. Yep.
Alright. So you all arrive eventually into the eating hall.
Oh, can I zoom out? How do I? Oh, here it is. Oh my god. Too much zoom out. Too much.
Yeah. So the round brown things are patrician mortal tables, etc. The long rectangular table is all of the dragon bloods who are present at this particular event, excluding Nadus, who is the mortal groom, and the mayor of Stillbirch, who has a seat on the table out of obligation more than anything.
Wait, are you telling me that the mortal groom is not at this table?
No, the
No,
mortal
he
groom
is,
is.
he
He's
is.
Nadus.
Oh,
He's in
okay,
the
I was about
middle.
to say it. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. No. So the groom is here. His bride-to-be is here.
I'm back.
The mayor
Are
is
they,
there.
are they gonna play footsie under the table?
Maybe they will. Somon, Rob's character, is here, and his fiance is there.
Uh-huh.
Emo and Fallon are this side. Rakujai winds up here.
I just want you guys to know that aside from Imo, I'm the closest to the heads of house, so wink wonk.
No. I'm next to
Closest.
Bellar.
Where is she?
Well, okay, so
there.
I'm closer
I'm
to 2
here.
or 3.
Right here.
with the exception of
Spicy color.
Rakujai, it looks like it's like Sinus, Fallon, Emo, and then Rakujai, and then Sinus, Fallon, Farah, Sinus, Bella, Yana, Sinus, Bella, Fasca, and Sinus, Bella along the
It'd
top.
be so helpful.
To what?
Get rid of this. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Lagging
Get rid
like
of what?
Um, Silverbrook is an immaculate monk, formerly of House Sinus. Rakista and Donati, the Nellans.
Who the fuck's the mayor?
What's it? The mayor is... I always
We
forget
have
his
a
name.
mayor?
No, mayor of
the
next
mayor
town over.
of Stillbirch.
Like, I'm just like, there's a mayor? I'm like at the top of the
Hang
table,
on.
like, what's that?
Let me rewrite his name.
I love how far away everyone is. Oh.
I'm close-ish. You could wink at
Thanks,
me across the
footsies.
table. Yeah, I don't think your legs are that long.
You don't know me.
That would be horrific.
These are quite large tables.
It's like that Sonic Dream thing. Stretches
No.
Please no.
That is amazing.
I love how everyone knows what that is.
Well, okay, so you guys aren't that far away from each other. You're like, so if you ping yourself, for instance, like if Emo pings herself, Oh wait, these pings aren't quite as wide as I thought they were. I was gonna say anyone that the ping touches you can talk to, but apparently the ping doesn't touch anyone.
Amazing.
uh,
Wait, hold on. I got this.
So the person directly in front of you and the two people to your left and right can be spoken to.
Yeah. Oh, wrong way.
Can we just like poke right here in the corner there?
Oh,
I
you've got the
can
grid
understand
disabled on this
this.
drawing, so I can't do that.
Oh.
It's fine. Doesn't matter. I was just going to draw a radius that indicated it, but it's basically like the way I see it is
What is that?
I can
How do you
talk.
guys see that?
Yeah, it's just scribbling.
Yeah, that's a drawing. You can draw on the board.
But yeah,
Please-
like for
please
example, I am there, and I can talk to, for example, Jen, who is over there,
How do I erase?
or
Help.
far over there. You just get the select tool, just grab it all, and then delete
How do I select?
with the arrow. Go back
Yeah,
to the
so
arrow tool.
for in terms of
Yeah.
like easy conversation, you can speak to like Rob, for instance, can speak to Nadus, Malachi, or Yana without having to raise his voice.
He
Whereas
yells across the table to talk to Fast.
yeah, to speak to Faska, Farah, Denati, or the mayor, he would have to raise his voice more, and so more people would be privy to what he was saying to them.
I scream at Faska, yo, Faska, what's
Because
up?
there's a lot, as you can see. Who drew a dick on the lowest table?
What? Someone...
Wow.
Wow.
Immediately, wow. Yeah,
That took my D&D group at least half a session.
because there's no, we're about halfway through the session. So there's about 100 other people in this room, so
Yeah,
It's-
there's a lot of conversation noise.
yeah. All right, so you take your seats. The gong sounds a second time to announce that like food is about to be served.
Does it still
And-
sound like it's in the next room?
Yep.
Okay.
The mysterious
The-
gong that no one can find.
But it's loud enough, like it's above the volume of everyone talking in the room.
Yeah.
But it sounds almost like you're the only one that's hearing it, except everyone hears it. So it's magical in the sense that like it's very
You'd hear it no matter what the
Yeah.
volume was or where you were,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it doesn't always seem to be loud.
Yeah. Right. So. Food. Yes. So you've been having appetizers for the last few minutes. The servants bring you platters of appetizers. A few of them are laid down on the table. The whole room is like very lavishly decorated, by the way. There are candles on every table, and I know I colored these tables brown, but they've got like white silk tablecloths, and just everything looks very, very extravagant. This wedding is very much about showing how rich Sinus are right now.
It's literally, hey, these people are getting married. Look how much money we spent on it.
Yeah. So the appetizers are like vol au vents and caviar and cocktails and whatever else, and the drinks that are being served currently are like very light wines, flat ciders, and non-alcoholic beverages. So take whichever one you please.
I
Begin
take
helping yourself.
non-alcoholic beverages.
Say again?
I take the non-alcoholic beverage.
Sure. So people, yeah, everyone starts tucking into various appetizers and stuff.
I take the whole
I eat-
wine bottle.
Whole wine. Goodness. I don't touch too much food because I'm nervous and I kind of don't have too much of an appetite because I'm sitting next to, is Bellar my grandma? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, and I haven't really talked to her much, so I want to make a good impression, so.
Yeah. She's either your grandmother or,
Is she my aunt?
yeah, she's your aunt. Yeah, she's either your grandmother
great-aunt.
or your great aunt or, like, something like that.
Okay.
So there's a slight ambiguity in that, like, you are part of House Bellar, but that doesn't mean that you are a direct descendant of Bellar necessarily, unless you want to be.
Okay.
But you're definitely related to her. You're more closely related to Bellar than you are to Imo, for example.
Okay, so anyway, so I don't touch much food, but I do take a glass of apple cider, hard apple cider.
Cool.
Hard apple cider.
Hard. So hard.
Fresh from the orchard.
Yep.
Do they have any version of sweet tea here? Because that's definitely what I'm going for.
Like iced tea?
But that's the same fucking thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can get iced tea.
Yes.
Rob?
Yeah, I will probably... I don't know. I'd probably drink wine, to be honest with you.
You lush.
Drinks it all.
Drink all the wine.
So Sinus Bellayana is wearing a what's it called? She's wearing kind of a similar thing to her grandmother, in that it's like got bits of armor integrated into the design
Into
of
the
the
design.
costume, but it's like obviously not for protection per se.
Yes, it's stylized.
Yeah. It's like blue and this thing isn't loading. Or it did load, but then I closed it by accident and I have to load it again.
Listen,
Fantastic.
I am like 3 seconds away from just rolling for perception of traps again, because I'm still thinking of Game of Thrones.
But nobody is married yet.
This
Can't
isn't
do
the
it until
red or purple
after they're
wedding.
married. You can only kill them once they're married, because you have to make a point.
Yeah, this is the one I want. Okay, yeah, so she's wearing oops. No.
Also, you're one of the ones that doesn't have to worry.
She's wearing something very similar to this, except without the dragon in the background or the sword.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
this thing.
Could you link it in the roll thing instead from now on? Because I have to always copy and paste these from the TeamSpeak.
Oh, you do, don't you? Sure. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know
Wow,
why
that
my
looks really
TeamSpeak's
fancy.
broken.
Oh, good shit.
Hang on,
Oh,
my cat
hello.
wants in my room. What? Hang on.
Okay.
We've already described Rakujai
Okay, Molly's in the room now. Hello,
and
Molly.
Rikista.
Hey, Kelu,
Who's
just as a
left?
question.
Yeah.
Where did you put your page?
My page of what?
King Ridian.
Oh, I did not
He
yet.
he would
'cause I
be
haven't finished it.
seated.
Oh.
Oh wait.
Yeah. I was
You're-
busy all of yesterday working and also doing, and I still haven't finished my personal webcomic page yet either for today. So I haven't even touched King Rillian. Hey, kitty cat.
Okay, Ricky's just doing what now? Is she equally a luscious emo?
She's what?
A lush, like, emo.
What?
No, she's wearing a blue and gold, I think it was, kimono. I
As
already
in,
described
did
it.
she also have an entire fucking wine bottle chugging this shit down like there's
Oh.
no tomorrow?
No. Yes, so the last person to arrive to the hall is Sinus Fallon herself. She is wearing the same thing that I linked earlier. Do you want me to link it again?
I got it. It's good. Good. Got it.
What it looks like.
Yeah, so like green dress, like pencil dress, but then like lots of gold and this purple fan, and yeah, she looks pretty stunning. And
Wink one. Can I wink at her from across the room?
That would be a huge social faux pas.
Fine. I will not wink at her across the room. I will think about winking at her across the room, but I will not.
So she comes to the, like, just before where she's going to be seated. She takes the glass of wine that she's been already served before she was even there. She picks
Taps
it up,
it lightly with a fork.
tacks it lightly with a fork, and everyone goes quiet and turn their attention towards Sinus Fallon. And she says, welcome everybody to the first day, to the banquet of this beautiful wedding. Thank you everyone for coming here, and please, wait, what am I trying to say?
Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, please enjoy yourselves. Drink as much as you like, eat as much as you like. Everything is on House Sinus tonight. And there's a few cheers from the back of the room. She's all smiles and grace. And
To punch you in the face.
she raises her glass and says, "A toast to my beautiful granddaughter Farah and her husband to be, Nellis Nadus."
Nadus.
Nellens Nadus, sorry.
Nellens Nadus.
And she drinks her drink. And so does everyone else.
That's the correct thing to do.
And at that point, servants enter and begin giving you guys starters. So there are 2 starters to choose from. And
Quick question.
Yep.
Is there light entertainment? Is there music?
Yes, there is music
Yeah.
playing, and I didn't put them on the frickin' Roll20 thing. So there would be like a band playing, or I say band, I mean like
Quartet.
orchestral
Group
instruments.
of musicians.
Yeah, group of musicians playing like down here somewhere, and there are also 2 painters stationed at each like lower end of this table where I'm pinging now.
Ah, right, yeah.
And they are painting the dynast, or the dragon-blooded dynast, all seated at this table from different angles. whilst everyone eats.
So this is quite an important wedding.
Yeah. Well,
Someone's gonna
in some
die.
sense, it's the equivalent of like press. You know,
Yeah.
it's like taking a picture of all the celebrities together, except it takes 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
so they
But
do
the
it
point
whilst
is the
everyone's
fact
eating.
that they were invited is significant.
Yeah. All right. So the appetizers is there's miso soup, which is vegetarian, or crab meat soup.
Misa.
Miso.
I go with crab. The crab.
Crab soup, why not?
Rob.
I'll take miso.
Cool. Yeah. Everyone else gets served whatever they want, and what they called baguettes. Baguettes are placed across the table.
That was breadsticks
Sort of
into
like-
purse. I must go.
Sort of like a line between you and the person opposite you.
A line of bread?
Yeah, so there's lines of bread between each pair of people on this table.
So you break bread with the person opposite.
Yeah, you literally break bread with the person opposite you, and it's kind of a tradition or whatever. And it's it's a way of the Dynas saying that, you know, like, this is a safe place where two people of different houses can share in conversation and not have to worry about any kind of ulterior connotations. So you break bread with the person. Yeah, so if you hadn't noticed, everyone on the top end of this table are in house sinus, whereas everyone on the bottom aren't.
I
Except
noticed how also the house heads are placed opposite people that could possibly have no conspiratorial ideals for the person sitting opposite them.
yeah. Yeah, so the...
Would it be really bad if I waked up Roku instead?
Who? Sorry?
Roku Jai, whatever the fuck his name is. I just call him Roku.
You want to wink at him?
Like, no, just like, if I thought about it, would it be bad?
Well, he's definitely attractive. You're... So, he is engaged, though.
Damn it! Okay, never mind.
But that isn't to say he doesn't have the
But
the resources to fulfill your needs.
Yeah,
shall we say?
he is engaged,
No, I'll just,
but
I'll
he
just, like,
he
sorely
also
wish that my
he
travel
was a
companion was up
prostitute.
here.
He was a
Where's my bread,
prostitute,
empty nada?
and he's like he's a sinus.
No, your bread up.
I'm sitting next to the hot one.
Sitting
All
across from him.
It's a line of the hot ones.
Yeah, more or less. Oh, I didn't describe Farah. So Farah is wearing.
No, you did. You showed me. You showed us. With the one with the dragon.
No, that's
No, that's
mine.
Yana.
Oh, that's Yana. Oh, no, yeah.
Farah,
Okay.
the wife of this wedding, or the
Bride
bride of this wedding rather, is currently wearing a gold and white ball gown, with a like gold leaf tiara that kind of resembles like wings above her ears, and
It's not quite for you guys.
I will post that link for you guys to look at. So all of these pictures, I think I mentioned this already, but all these pictures are just reference. It's something to like base the mental
Yeah.
image on.
They don't look exactly like them.
Yeah, and that's mostly because all of these pictures aren't made by me and are copyrighted and stuff. So
we take like a few minute break real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright.
Alright, so you're mostly busy with eating your soup to begin with. And yeah, the breaking the bread ceremony takes place. Everyone breaks their bread. I guess it's kind of like crackers or something.
It's a little more refined than that, but yes.
Yeah. But it is literally like you each take an end of the baguette and pull.
And you just break it.
And yeah, so everyone's initially very busy with eating, and so there's not much conversation. I should mention that dragon bloods, or just exalts in general, have voracious appetites.
Yeah.
They have very, very high metabolisms, and so this is a full state dinner.
Yeah.
That is like technically 7 or 8 course dinner.
And you'll be able to eat all of this without the need for a digestive afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so food, like a couple of other objects in this system, has a craftsmanship level, but not a condition, because it's either eaten or not eaten.
Well, it does have a condition, because it's either fresh, not so fresh, or mouldy.
Well, I don't know. But it's, in terms of like buying food from a restaurant, the quality of the restaurant determines the craftsmanship of the food, and that determines the cost. And so all of this food that you're being served is either exquisite or master-crafted dishes.
Wow.
So this is the best fucking miso soup you've ever had.
Considering I've only ever had miso soup once and I made it, that's not saying much.
I don't think I've ever had any of these soups.
You've never had crab meat soup?
No.
It's like a pretty standard soup dish in this country, particularly in Chinese restaurants.
Does it look like I live in whatever country you are in?
I don't know. I was exchanging some cultural information with you.
I know.
Attempting to draw cultural parallels.
Yeah.
But no, I've never had crab soup.
Oh, it's nice.
I don't usually have a soup when I go to restaurants. I usually just go straight for the meat.
Oh, enough of my own heart.
The entree.
So
Love me them meats.
once you begin to finish your soup, conversation begins to pick up again. Is Jen there? Or did she?
Yeah.
No, wait, that was...
Jen
that
is
was,
here, AJ left.
It was AJ left, sorry.
They're
Yeah.
basically the same person, right?
Wow.
Fight you.
So Rikista finishes her dish and then turns to you and says,
Alright.
So, yes, as I was saying, the job that I might have for you, it seems to be the sort of thing that you might be able to help out with. Basically, I've noticed a number of missing shipments recently.
Number of missing shipments, eh?
And I need somebody to investigate it. Yes, the shipments were supposed to be coming in from another part of the realm. Where would it be?
Liam checks his notes.
The shipments were supposed to be coming from Kanos in the north region of the Blessed Isle. and there were 3 of them, trading caravans, that were coming towards the Imperial City from that direction. And the first one was late, and then the second one arrived, and they had not passed the first one on their way.
Oh, ominous.
And then the third one has yet to arrive as well. So I kind of need to find out what happened to that. If for no other reason than I'd like to, well, what am I trying to say? She bought, a load of stock, and it's not arrived.
Yeah.
So I'd like to find out where my stock has gone, but...
I'm back.
Reprimand those involved for being late.
Welcome back.
Yes, it would perhaps be...
miss?
It would be prudent to find
Apparently
out...
you and I are the same person.
What?
Apparently you and I are the same person.
What happened?
I just asked if Jen was still there, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're confusing AJ and Jen again."
Oh. I said I'd need a few minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that you'd left, but I was just wondering if Jen was still there as well. Anyway, yes, so I need to find out what happened to my stock, but if something has happened to the... as in, I'd like the stock that I ordered to, be returned to me, as long as it's not damaged, but it would also be prudent to find out what actually happened to the caravan, in case it was something that needs dealing with that could prevent future shipments as well.
Well, that is indeed a strange occurrence, especially if the first one goes missing. You'd think that the second one would come across it in some way, but the fact that it hasn't means that... Well, let's see. If they were waylaid on the side of the road, you'd probably come across, like, a wreckage or something, or remnants. But if it's missing completely, that probably means it was taken.
Indeed. If you think that that's the kind of thing that your skills are capable of, then I would happily pay you a share of the deals that I make off the back of the found shipments in payment, and of course a small sum up front.
I indeed would be happy to look into it. Anything to help out a member of the family.
She smiles briefly. Any other follow-up statements you want to make?
Probably ask when she'd like me to check it out, if there was any deadline or something like that.
Well, I could get a magistrate or some other imperial member of the imperial it is the magistrates, actually. I think it's solely the magistrates that deal with that kind of thing. Yeah, so I could hire or contract a magistrate to deal with it, but their waiting lists are kind of long, and it would be at least 2 months before I could even interview one of them about the situation. So...
yeah, by then any relevant signs would probably be gone.
Exactly. So the sooner the better, really. My
that
only
would
other
be-
option would be to contract another house, but since we are sisters, so to speak, I figured I would offer it to you.
But yes, I would be happy to look into this matter for you, and I will get my colleagues together after this the celebration, and I shall take a look and see what I find.
Thank you kindly. She mentioned something about like tomorrow, or actually no, probably on the third day of the wedding or later on, she'll give you some more information, like a map and where she suspects the actual event, whatever it was, took place, and so on and so forth. Like, she'll give you more information in a few days.
Okay.
All right. I need to go back to the eating hall table thing. So another. Everyone finishes their dishes at this point. Who haven't I picked on recently?
Wow, you're like some sort of vindictive maths teacher.
I know.
You, Fasca.
Sure.
Fasca, what are you up to? Looks at.
Uh,
Stares deeply at.
So to your left is your grandmother or other great relative, Sinus Bellar. To your right is one of your cousins, Sinus Bellar Yana, who is a sorceress, air aspected sorceress, I believe. And in front of you is Malachi, Nellen's Malachi, who, from your specialty in current events, tells you that he... in fact, let me find... If you roll intelligence plus lore, and I can tell you about him in the meantime,
Okay.
I can tell you more about him. But the
Alright.
basic is that he is somewhat of a Nellen celebrity. He's a fire aspected sorcerer, and he's renowned for being the hero of a Death Lord attack. And he's now considered the Nellen's expert on Death Lords and the Abyss and stuff like that.
Well, okay, so I have 3 intelligence and 3 lore, so
60
so 60
So plus the specialty from...
plus the specialty.
So it'd be 7.
7, okay. Okay, oh, I forgot to put the slash. Hang on, roll. Oh, ooh.
3 successes.
3 successes is enough.
Okay.
So
Quite a lot,
he's...
actually.
He is...
Wait. Does Ferris know about my magical roll?
Well, you rolled a 10.
Yeah.
Oh no, you rolled a success in every roll.
Yeah,
Yes.
she got a phenomenal success.
But
When-
did you know
when-
what I rolled it in when I rolled the trap? Did you hear what I
for
found?
traps.
What?
Checking for traps.
I found a secret room.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, okay, so
You're right. Nellen's Malachi is one of the few sorcerers in House Nellens. And he serves his house so that it may in turn serve him. He's learned the lessons of teamwork well. He is but an individual, but he's been taught that an individual is helpless. An entire dynastic house, on the other hand, carries some weight. So after he became a fire aspected Exalt, he realized that he was very valuable to his house, and so he began asking more and more favors of it. And he's now and then doing favors for the house in return. And he's now like one of the richest members of House Nellens. And then because of this event with the Death Knight, he now has a reputation of being well versed in the ways of the undead, so to speak. Which is something that he sort of quite proudly boasts about.
Okay, so
Can I get Rob and Brian to both roll wits plus awareness?
okay. Let me look at my thing again. So wits is 3, and awareness is where is it? 1, so 4 then.
6 successes.
6 successes.
Okay. Well,
Good, considering I rolled 6 dice.
And 1 success. Okay, so unfortunately, a phenomenal success doesn't really get you much more information, Rob. But you both notice that there's a surprising amount of sorcerers here. Rakujai is a sorcerer.
I needed to roll a check for that. I could see that.
Well, okay.
Can I check for traps now? Because this definitely seems suspicious.
Rakujai is a sorcerer. Farah is she's not a sorcerer technically, but she's a medic or whatever. Like she goes around healing people. She's got lots of medical charms. Imo equally has some connections to concoctions, as does Faska. Sinus Bellar is a sorceress, and your fiancée, Yana, is a sorceress. And then Malachi, who's sitting next to you, is a sorcerer, and Rakujai is a sorcerer. And Sinus aren't renowned for having a lot of sorcerers in them. Neither are Nellens, for that matter. So, it seems like almost all of the sorcerers in both houses are present. With the exception of, well, you don't know how many are the exception, but you can't imagine it's many.
Yeah. It is a very high concentration of a very small number of people.
Yes. In fact, there's more... Is there more? 1, 2, 3... Including yourself as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, about half of the people at this table are sorcerers. Which, yeah, is unusual even in, like, House Nemon, where there are a lot of sorcerers. So you're not sure what's up with that. You notice it too, Brian.
Okay.
Anyway, so those are the people around you. How do you want to interact with them?
Oh, me, no. Okay.
Well, Rob or Kalu.
I'll let Rob go first. You can go first.
Going back briefly to the sorcerer point, are any of them my age? Would I potentially have gone to school with any of them?
Yana is... Yana was in your, like, senior year. Or 1 year your senior.
Right.
Whatever the expression is.
Someone likes older women.
What can I say?
You like might have seen her once or twice at Heptagram, but it's only like since that you've realised
that
you actually had met her before you were engaged to her. Malachi is much older, as is Rakujai, and Faska is a similar age to you actually. So Brian's character. So it's possible that you were.
I thought. Wait a minute. So
Wait,
Salmon
actually-
is how old? I thought I was 17. Lol.
Are you appear 17, right?
No.
You can't literally be 17.
Oh, I can't. Oh, damn it.
Like year of graduation for
Oh, that's right. So
heptagram is
okay.
like
So
23.
I think yeah. So around that age then, but I appear 17. Yeah.
All right. So Fasca was like entering heptagram
as I was
as you were
leaving.
leaving. Yeah. Actually, Yana was probably older than you as well. So she was leaving as you were entering.
Right. Okay, so that renders that course of inquiry somewhat useless.
I mean, you share the fact that you've all been to the same secondary school.
Yes, but there isn't anyone that I would have perhaps known.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so there are similar traits that you share with people around you. Like, you know, you've Yana and Fasca and you have all been to Heptagram, and Malachi is a fire aspect.
Yeah. Well, I'll casually strike up a conversation about Heptagram and say because presumably I obviously know that these people are sorcerers. And I'll sort of casually mention sort of the Heptagram education, sort of like talk about our areas of study, our theses, magical. There's going to be like hot topic magic news
Nerd
sort
stuff.
of thing. It's like, damn, those frat parties were good. Stuff
Magic
like that.
nerd stuff, right. Yana engages you with the topic, mostly just because she wants to be talking to you. Malachi is kind of keeping to himself. He's I guess in some sense kind of like you in that he's kind of pompous and like thinking that he's above the other people. So he's like dismissing
we basically
your-
spend the entire party like just looking directly forwards, not looking at each other, and thinking that guy's an asshole.
to some degree, yeah.
That fucking guy is such a goddamn asshole. Jesus.
Brian, do you engage in Rob's conversation about Heptagram?
I listen in a little bit, but do I know that they're engaged at that point? Do I know that?
Your House Sinus and your current event law
So I would know
thing,
that they're
yeah,
engaged.
you'd know.
The amount of giggling across the table is more than significant.
Yeah, you would know that
Yeah.
you would know that Yana is engaged, perhaps not who to, except that she's engaged to Asasis, and then the fact that someone
There's
is
only
the
one of
only
us at the
Asasis at the
Yeah,
table
okay.
is
So I would kind of
enough
gather
to
that.
induce.
So I'd kind of, I think I noticed that those two are particularly engaged, so I decide not to engage too much, and instead I look over to Malachi, who's not really paying attention.
Yeah.
And I guess trying to think of what I want to do. I guess I like clear my throat and wave over to him a little bit, knowing to try and get his attention.
Sure. He perks up a bit. Sorry, I should have mentioned. Around this time, you've been served your second or your first course, the main course,
Okay.
rather, first main course, which is either prawn rolls and rice or slow cooked aubergine bruschetta.
I don't know what any of those are.
I
Except
do.
for prawns. Don't know what those are.
Aubergine. Oh, that's eggplant for you guys, I guess.
Oh, okay. I don't like eggplant.
But does your character like eggplant?
Does my character like eggplant? That's a good question. I'd say he like eggplant. Yeah, I'll go
I
with
have a
that.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we take a small break because it's like almost 4 and I'm getting kind of hungry?
Sure. Yeah. Let's finish this conversation with Faskar and Malachi, and then we'll take a break, if you want.
Okay.
Well, if you're not involved in the conversation,
Yeah,
you
that's
probably
true.
can.
Yeah, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, for like since the beginning of the session, I've been writing down everything that has happened. I need to hear.
I need to know what happens.
I need to know.
Okay.
It's dedication. All right.
What if I want to write fix? You don't fucking know.
So what do you say? Sorry.
So I am. So okay. So he is from House Nema.
No, Nellens.
Nellens. Nellens. Okay.
From my house.
So, okay. So
At
I
my
said.
house.
So and I know of him quite well.
Yeah,
So-
he's like famous in House Nellens.
Okay.
Because he's rich
So-
and he's.
Because he's rich.
Well, because he's rich, because he's dragon-blooded, which in and of itself practically gives you fame in House Nellens, and the fact that he's like the leading expert, so to speak, on Death Lords.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I ask him. So you're Nellis Malachi, right?
He finishes biting his bruschetta and like swallows it quickly and says, "That is correct."
Trying to. You're not giving me much. I nod quickly, in agreement, and say, "It's very interesting to hear that your is Natus like his cousin or
Distantly related.
distantly related? Okay. So I began gossiping, I guess, that that Natus is getting married.
Hot. Oh.
Oh.
What?
Oh. I
Oh.
said hot.
Oh.
Oh. Anyway, so, and I ask him, so do you have any plans of doing any let's see, alliances with other houses then as well?
Well, I always thought it was an odd choice for Farah, someone so young, to be interested in Natus. I mean, the guy's practically 40 already. Still, yeah, it's an interesting couple. Hopefully it'll work out for him. Me, myself, my wife and I are... Well, my wife couldn't make it because she's heavily pregnant right now. And me, well, I'm mostly...
Be right back.
Okay.
Mostly looking into these Shadowland dealings that have been popping up throughout the realm recently, and trying to find out a bit more about them.
I'm taking my break early because apparently I gotta go fucking mob, even though I said I'd rather not be disturbed today, but whatever.
Okay.
Sure.
Someone tell me what goes on.
Okay. Okay. I nod and ask, so the Shadowlands, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Shadowlands, what exactly has been occurring there? Yes. Question mark. Am I able to like, persuade him to talk about it?
Yes, you are. Let me just find some information.
Okay.
Well, right now, well, not right now, obviously, but just recently I've been in the Juch domain, studying in Pajab Stair, you know, the old military school that they send lost eggs to, among other people. Turns out, actually, I don't know if I should be telling you this, but, well, it turns out that there's a Shadowlands underneath Pajap's Stair,
I see.
and a few students have started going missing in the school because of it. And, well, they called me in to take a look, and frankly, I'm having a hard time with it.
I see. He nods and thinks to himself how strange that is. That there'd be that that there's missing kids, and the fact that Malachi, who's one of the most influential people, isn't able to figure it out. So he's thinking this to himself.
Sure.
And he just so he lets out a mark of exclamation that this is happening, because he hasn't heard of this before, and he's like, oh, that's very strange and also quite sad that this has been happening. I hope that these missing students turn up.
Nope, they're probably dead.
Oh, well, fantastic.
From my experience, Death Lords take no prisoners, or those that they do shortly become grey-touched.
Grey-touched?
Members of the living dead.
Oh, I see.
It's not a topic for dinner, frankly. But, it's a particularly disturbing situation to be in. I agree. I actually came to this wedding just to take a break from the situation. I should really get back as soon as I can, though.
Well, hopefully that this wedding will bring you some relaxation. Sorry for bringing up the topic.
It's no problem, you weren't to know. Say, you're a sorcerer yourself, aren't you?
That's correct. I'm a recent graduate, actually.
How did you
Of,
find the
the
heptagram?
Yes.
How did you find it?
It was alright. I learned quite a lot. A lot of my close relatives actually went there, and they poked me in that direction as well, so trying to follow a good example of follow how do I put this? Follow in their footsteps, I guess.
Yeah.
And be quite well versed in spellcasting and sorcery.
I always thought about returning there. It's good to keep up with the old studies. I only ever made it into the 4th library. Leaves 3 more that I've still never touched. But these days, finding time to do that kind of thing is a little bit difficult.
Well, I can imagine, especially with all the hectic business that you deal with.
Let me give
And
you some advice. If you're ever in the northern region of the Blessed Isle, and you have a few days, go back to the heptagram. They'll always be happy to teach you a few more spells.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. And then I guess then I turn to Saman and Yana, who are still talking about about the heptagram. And I guess tune in to listen, and I guess from there we'll wait for Jen to get back.
Sure, yeah, we can take a break there.
Okay, I'm also gonna grab something to eat, because I have not eaten yet today.
Yeah, I've added an entry in your journal, by the way, Brian, about the heptagram.
Okay.
So that's in the Sorcery and Magic
Oh, I see.
tab.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that gives you more information about the haptogram itself.
Okay.
Fart noise.
Hey.
Cool.
Hey,
Right.
emo kid.
Let's take a break then.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get food. Boop and boop.
See you soon.
Someone just said in the chat, I can't wait till we get to Blighttown.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
I finished mopping and then I made a quick trip to get some cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I got me a cheese jar. But don't tell Kello because he's gonna be mad.
Mm-hmm. It'll be our secret. I'm watching Twitch attempt to play Dark Souls. It's excruciatingly
God.
painful.
No.
Oh my god, they finally got the key! They finally picked up the asylum key.
God fucking knows.
Raise the law!
Have they managed to make something into a religion yet?
I think so, probably.
Jesus.
I'm looking at full finger rings to figure out what I want mine to look like.
Oh, hello, Sourdough.
Hello, I've been here the entire time.
No, you heard nothing.
Whole time. Been here.
Well, you didn't hear anything, right?
Heard everything.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, what happened while I was gone?
Children are dead.
Excuse?
Yep.
I don't think that's really what happened here.
No, it
I think you're
happened.
lying to me.
I'm not. You can ask them. Children are dead.
What?
Yep.
Ferris?
Oh, yeah, no, that did happen. It's a long story.
What the...
I'll let Will
You
explain
got
when he gets
time?
back.
God damn it.
But yeah, basically, there's shit going on at the military school, not the one you went to, the other one.
Yeah, House of Ancient whatever.
House of Flying Daggers, that one.
Ha 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 ha.
No, I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, basically, according to Malachi, there's a Shadowland located underneath it. And people from the school, students from the school have been going missing.
Where is this school located?
Up your butt.
I don't know exactly.
Is it? I need to know if it's anywhere near close to where what's her face? My cousin's stuff has been going missing as well.
Well, you know none of this yet.
This is true. Is it cheating if I know something and I angle my character so that they also get to know something?
Yes.
Yes. It's using player
Alright.
knowledge.
So I'm assuming it was Vaska who got this knowledge.
Yeah.
How did the topic come across?
Just sort of came out.
Look, they're terrible storytellers.
Why do you think I haven't had a word to say for like the majority of the game?
Cybergoat, haven't you roleplayed before though?
No.
Oh, I thought you had.
Welcome back.
I was part of a roleplay group. I didn't roleplay in it though. I just read their stories.
Welcome back, Kelly.
Once you get inside your character's head, it's fairly easy to roleplay them.
Sound muted. Sound resumed.